Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. His land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Hi!
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
You want a sports degree that is beyond the game? A degree that immerses you from day one and launches you into the business side of sports. With a sports management major from IUPUI's School of Health and Human Sciences, you'll have insider access to sports professionals and will learn from faculty with years of teaching and industry experience. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sport industry career.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight, that's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time. to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is game time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday night, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Good afternoon. My name is Jay Jones. I'm the Commissioner of the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference, and we're excited that you joined us for today's webcast. We're thrilled to have this relationship with IndianaSRN, and we're excited to show you the game of the week each week, showcasing some of the best small college football around the Midwest. We hope that you'll continue to watch and let us know what else you might want to see. You can go to www.heartlandconf.org to see stats, game recaps, and other information around the league. Until then, enjoy today's webcast.
Left guard number 59, Justin Pearson, and center number 58, Kenneth Gibson.
And we're back for another edition of a Heartland Game of the Week on IndianaSRN, Week 4 of conference play in the HCAC. And it will be the Spartans returning to Spartan Stadium, set to host the Fighting Engineers of Rose-Hulman, all coming to you live right here on IndianaSRN and HCAC.TV. Today's broadcast is being brought to you by the Morales Group, building better futures, one story at a time. By Bertner Electric, your licensed and experienced electrician serving Central Indiana. By Piper Logistics, 3 services, 1 solution. And Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown farm equipment dealer. Alongside Sean Kroll, I'm Jarrett Lewis, right here on Indiana SRN in North Manchester, Indiana. The Spartans return home after a loss last week on the road, traveling down to Cincinnati to take on Mount St. Joseph. They fell in that one 28-0 for their first conference loss of this season, Sean. So a great opportunity. When we saw them earlier this week, we said the exact same thing, coming back to their home field after starting off conference play with a win over Franklin, and they were able to rattle off 2 wins in a row. But now they're on the short end of conference play after the loss last week, so looking to get back into that win column and see themselves stay at the top of conference.
And another high-powered offense they've got to deal with today in terms of the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. Lead the league in passing offense, high-scoring offense as well. Their defense really has to step up. They played really well last week against another high-powered offense in Mount St. Joseph, who they only held to 28 points in Cincinnati. However, offensively is really where the issues are for Manchester. They need to be able to put the ball in the end zone. Last time we were here, they kicked 5 field goals and had a defensive touchdown. They've really got to do more with the time of possession in which they're at the top of the league at, and stick it in the end zone and get 6, like we talked about. Money that folds, not money that jingles.
So last week they had the loss and they were shut out by Mount St. Joseph 28-0, and now they're going to have to deal with the high-powered offense, like you said, of Rose-Hulman, who doesn't just lead the conference in passing, but leads the conference in a whole bunch of categories, including total offense, 38 points a game for Rose-Hulman. The second best team is Hanover with 31, so a touchdown lead in that category scoring-wise, and it is a balanced offense for the Fighting Engineers. 297 passing yards through their game. That is their bread and butter, but they also add in the rushing game with the likes of Shane Wilshans and Grant Raperta as their 2 tailbacks. But we're going to see a lot of Andrew Dion putting the ball through the other senior quarterback has had a tremendous season.
He's been fantastic for him. He's the reigning offensive player of the week in the conference. Another thing, too, Jeff Sokol, the head coach of Rose-Hulman, it's his 11th year. He has yet to lose to Manchester. Rose-Hulman's won 11 straight in this series. Manchester wants to stop that now at home and, like you said, get back into the race. Right now it's a 3-team race as you look at Mount St. Joseph and Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology, both 4-2 overall, 3-0 in the conference. Right behind them is Mount St. Joseph. If Manchester wants to be in that upper echelon of the conference, they need to win today.
Also throw Hanover into that mix as well, just the one loss for them in conference play. So it's going to be a fun thing to watch as we have these next couple of games. This is the 4th of 7 Heartland games that we'll have on IndianaSRN. It will be very exciting to see just how this conference shakes up as we enter into the later part of our schedule. And for Rose-Hulman, it has been a great Heartland Conference schedule for them. They started things off at Defiance, winning that one 63-14. Their closest game in the conference that they had was against Hanover 2 weeks ago, a 31-21 triumph, and then last week handling Anderson easily 62-7. Dion had a short day's work. 13 of 14 is what he finished with, 178 yards and 4 passing touchdowns. And Alonzo Johnson was pretty active in the run game for Rose-Hulman, 28 carries for 96 yards. So, Dion, only 14 pass attempts, was able to complete 13 of those. A very easy day's work for Anderson, or for Rose-Hulman against Anderson. And now a much tougher defense is what they're going to go up against Manchester. The Spartans they're giving up 35 points to their opponents, but this is still a pretty stout defense, led by a couple of guys that have been a defensive player of the week in the Heartland Conference.
Jalen Maston, their middle linebacker, has been fantastic. Last time we were here, Manchester played Defiance. Jamal Hubbard was player of the week because he had a 70-yard interception return for a touchdown. They're going to need those linebackers to play big. Shane Welshans is a big part of the Rose-Hulman offense, but make no mistake, it revolves around Andrew Dion and the 3 big receivers, Thomas Hury and Tice Saliu. Dion's thrown for 4 touchdowns twice this year, once against Defiance and last week against Hanover. Thrown for over 300 yards 4 times already on the season. The kid can sling it. So they've the DBs, Bozeman, Smith, Castro, and Walker have their work cut out for them today to cover these receivers.
It'll be a big day also for the offense of Manchester, who only averages 15 points a game under head coach Nate Jensen, who's in his 6th year. patrolling the Spartans. He's 0-4 all-time playing against Rose-Hulman. And on the other side, we mentioned it earlier, Coach Sokol 9-0 when facing the Spartans. So one of those streaks is going, or both of those streaks could end up continuing, or they could end up coming to an end. But the offense for Manchester is going to have to step up, and we're going to get our second look this season at the freshman quarterback for Manchester, that being Tyler Zimmerman. He's appeared in 5 games this season, but only has 38 pass attempts. This team relies heavily on the run game, but it is still an offense that has struggled to really find its true identity and put together 4 quarters of solid play offensively.
Yeah, and they're facing a defense in Rose-Hulman that is first in the league against the run at 112 yards per game. So that's going to be an issue to see what things Manchester can come up with to offset that and get the ball in the end zone.
We're going to take our first break. When we come back, getting closer to kickoff here at Manchester University and Spartan Stadium. It's the 2-4 Spartans up against the 4-2 Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers on IndianaSRN.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
And we are back here at Spartan Stadium. Manchester taking the field in their black jerseys, wearing gold pants this afternoon. A 1:30 kickoff. And on the other side, Rose-Hulman, their white away tops with gray pants. Sean, you're the uniform guy. What do you think about these?
The black jerseys with the gold pants are a much better look than the all gold, in my opinion. Love both looks. This is a great uniform matchup today. The matte black helmets of Manchester, the fighting elephant on the Engineers, got the LSU stripes on their shoulder sleeves, the white and the gray. Just fantastic. It looks very visual today. It's going to be exciting.
And you see the sideline for Rose-Hulman, as both teams now have headed back out onto the field. We'll await the captains to meet at midfield. The 4th edition of the Heartland Game of the Week here on IndianaSRN. We've had some decent games in the previous 3. We were here for Manchester against Defiance 2 weeks ago. The Spartans got the win, so Manchester trying to go 2-0. When we visit them here at Spartan Stadium, but it's going to be the toughest task possibly the entire season for Rose-Hulman, against Rose-Hulman, I should say. This Fighting Engineers offense is something to talk about, and they've won the last 11 games against Manchester, so they have, not just conference play to play for. Being 3-0, they want to stay at the top, obviously, but continuing this streak of just straight domination against Manchester.
Yeah, the offense has done a great job as they do that, but we'll talk more about that here in a few minutes as we get set for the national anthem here at the game. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching Heartland Conference Game of the Week.
Hey folks, good to be with you for tonight's game. My name is Andy Simpson, and I'm a licensed IHSAA football official, and welcome to Friday Night Football, powered by IndianaSRN. On behalf of the 340 football officials, the IHSAA, the crew here at IndianaSRN, we hope you enjoyed tonight's game, and more important, don't forget to subscribe to the IndianaSRN YouTube page. As you're watching tonight's contest, I'm going to show you a few of our signals that will help you better understand the information we are trying to convey. Touchdown. Safety. First down. Holding or illegal use of hands. Encroachment, or offsides commonly known. False start or illegal formation on the offense, or a free kick, scrimmage violation. Face mask. Intentional grounding, roughing the passer, clipping, illegal shift, illegal motion, illegal block, pass interference by the offense or the defense, delay of game, and the one signal we dislike and you as fans don't like seeing, unsporting. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight and following us on IndianaSRN. You can also tune in to the Football Weekly Show and Coach's Show every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on IndianaSRN.org. Finally, if you've ever thought about becoming an IHSAA official, www.ihsaa.org and click on the Officials tab or call the IHSAA office at 317-846-6601. Now, sit back and enjoy the game.
Getting closer to kickoff in our Heartland Game of the Week on IndianaSRN alongside Sean Kroll. I'm Jarrett Lewis as the Spartans trying to go 3-1 and avenge their loss from last week against Mount St. Joseph in conference play. Meanwhile, Rose-Hulman sitting on top of the Heartland with a 3-0 mark for now and trying to keep that trend going here on the road here at Manchester. As the three captains for each side meet at midfield, you may notice throughout the game an orange theme going on here at Spartan Stadium as the Manchester University and Manchester community is dedicating this acute lymphocytic leukemia, ALL also is what it is known as. So you will see some orange throughout the game. And for more on that, we now send it down to the third member of our broadcast crew before we get
some ice cream today. That's good news. Hopefully things get better for him.
A student passed away not too long ago this week, from Hanover, Sean.
Yeah, basketball player from Danville High School here in Indiana, Lexi Orange Ribbon for Team Man. Prayers out to all the Heartland Conference families that are dealing with some things. We're on your side, and let's forget about it for a little while and watch.
They're a graduate of Danville, so the Hanover community in our thoughts and prayers, as is Manchester, as we get things underway from Spartan Stadium on the return and throwing it across the field. His knee was down at the 15-yard line, and there's also a flag coming in, maybe an illegal forward pass as the Spartans are trying to get fancy on this opening kickoff.
Yeah, that kind of blew up from the very beginning when he slipped in the end zone and barely made it out. And then it's going to be a forward pass. You see the line judge across the way through the flag. He saw that one was definitely not a Music City Miracle type of lateral there. So I'm sure that will set Manchester back. And these are the kind of mistakes they can't have today if they want to have a shot against Rose-Hulman. They've got to play a perfect game mentally and take away all those mistakes, penalties, things like that to stay in this football game.
The penalty will set them back as the Spartans will be the first one on the field offensively. We take a closer look at this offense with Tyler Zimmerman, the freshman quarterback, coming in to lead things off, and there's the rest of the starting offense coming up here shortly for the Spartans as the referees are still trying to figure out where to spot this foul. And it sounds like there's two penalties on the receiving team. They're going to decline the illegal forward pass and take the holding penalty that was also called with it on the return. So we get that all figured out. 6 seconds have ticked away, and now Manchester will begin this drive from, it looks like the 12-yard line.
You can see the change in the starting lineup offensively for Manchester. Last time we were here, David Smith had a huge game. He's now the starting running back for Manchester behind Tyler Zimmerman.
And that he did. Had a great game against Defiance. Ended up being the IndianaSRN Player of the Game, the second time we've given out that award. So it was the 7-yard line that Manchester started off with, and Smith on the first carry gets things across the 10 to the 11. On the season for Smith, now leading the team in rushing, 290 yards on 46 carries this year.
Long of 76, which we saw here last time against Defiance 2 weeks ago.
And they'll go back to Smith again. This time, Rose-Hulman is going to push him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss on the play. And that's going to send them back towards the original line of scrimmage.
You're going to hear that number a lot today. 33, Michael Stevens, a 6'3 senior from Orland Park, Illinois. Shout out to my home state. He is everywhere, leads the team in tackles, is all over the field. And with this rushing offense of Manchester, these linebackers are going to shoot gaps and allow the 5 DBs to play man-to-man and cover their territory because Manchester does not throw the ball very well.
6 tackle for a loss this year for Stevens. Now 3rd down and long. Spartans looking to pass. Zimmerman rolling out to his right, connects with his man, Abayagon, who is going to be well short of the line to gain.
Another Chicago kid, Abiagam, Justin from Mount Carmel High School. Maybe he and Stevens butted heads back in the day. But, waiting to 3rd down to throw the football, then throwing a little dump pass out to the tight end. It's not going to get it done if you're Manchester. You need bigger chunks of yardage as that. And Andrew Kibler, who had a fantastic game last time we were here, out to punt.
Went 5 for 5 in field goals. And the win 2 weeks ago against Defiance. It's a low line drive punt that is caught at the 47 and bouncing things towards the outside, taking it down that far sideline. A great return for Jalen Hobbs of Rose-Hulman.
5'8" sophomore from Bun Level, North Carolina. Love that name, Bun Level, North Carolina.
So a quick 3 and out for Manchester. Rose-Hulman will have tremendous field position on their opening drive. They'll start at the Manchester 35.
Dion and his receivers are licking their chops with this short field. Manchester's got to rise up and hold them to the very least to a field goal.
16 touchdown passes and just 6 interceptions this season for Dion. And they will start off with a pass over the middle of the field, trying to strike on the opening play. It's just out of reach of Noah Thomas.
Oh, a kid from Ben Davis was open, and Dion just missed him. I love the thought process. Short field, hang it out there and go for it first time and see what happens, and did not work, and they're already back at the line of scrimmage ready to go.
Going quick offensively. 4 receivers for Rose-Hulman have at least 23 catches this year, and Thomas leads all of them with 29. This time, they'll put it on the ground and hit behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1 on the carry for Welshans.
This rush defense of Manchester is really good. Those guys up front, Huffman, Webb, Matthews, and Collins, do a great job. And there's always Jalen Masden, hunting down football carriers in the backfield. But right here, Rose-Hulman's not afraid to throw the football. They like to throw the football a lot. 3 receivers have at least 4 touchdowns for this squad.
297 yards passing is what they average a game in a passing situation here. 3rd down and 11. Dion will roll out to his right. Airing it down the field, he has his man, and he drags that foot just inside, and it's a good catch for Ty Saliu. Great recognition of where he was at to get that pass in.
Oh, Ty Saliu with some toe drag swag there. What a catch.
2 receivers, both sides, and we get a whistle before this play. It's going to be a false start called against Rose-Hulman, and that catch was right in front of the coach. He had a great look at it down there on that sideline. And we'll get another look at it here as well.
Watch this throw and catch.
Great catch by our cameraman upstairs, Justin Griffiths, to catch that one. He did get just the 1 foot in. That's all you need. No gain on this carry for Welshans. The running defense for Manchester so far through 2 plays, limiting Welshans to nothing.
Willis Sands and Marvin Collins on that tackle for the Spartans. 2nd and long. But again, these guys are not afraid to sling the football. You got to run to keep them honest, though. You want to keep those linebackers in limbo and deciding what you're going to do offensively.
It is Welshans who leads the team in rushing with nearly 300 yards this season, 6 touchdown scores. Back to pass, Dion towards the corner of the end zone, and it's a catch hauled in, but the referee's right there to rule him out.
Maybe left it a little bit short. Could have gone back to the back corner. Not quite enough room for Daniel Hury, the sophomore from Katy, Texas. One of the many receivers that has 4 touchdowns on the year.
Hury, Thomas, and Jalen Hobbs each have 4 touchdowns this season. For Hury, 28 catches, second on the team behind Thomas, 397 yards receiving. Third down from the 16. They'll dump it out to Welshans, and a great open field tackle made there for Manchester's number 15. That's Jamal Hubbard.
Last time we were here, Hubbard was all over the place. He is again, and this is exactly what Manchester needed. You got to hold on to the field goal with the short field. Great job there. Now it's up to Jonathan Oliger from Mount Zion, Illinois, to knock it through.
And it is Oliger from the 18, so a 28-yard field goal upcoming. Good snap, good hold, and the kick, plenty of leg, but he misses it to the left. So a defensive stand made there by Manchester after the great field position for Rose-Hulman. The Spartans defense makes a stop. We'll take a break, be back in a moment for the second drive of Manchester.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back during this possession, Manchester just had a big run from David Smith of 12 yards. Spartans now have it at the 32 on Smith's third carry this afternoon, and he's the man in motion. It's a keep for Zimmerman with some pulling blockers out in front, but Rose-Hulman limits him to just a 1-yard pickup.
I like how they motioned Smith to the opposite side, hoping that the linebackers would follow him, but they read the play perfectly. Short call there. Nice on the first down play. The first play after the missed field goal, Smith got 10 yards, brought down by Winston Amonkwa.
Zimmerman able to come away with 2 yards. So 2nd and 8.
A lot of shifting on the defensive line of Rose-Hulman.
Zimmerman taking his time for this snap. 3-step drop, middle screen set up. Blockers get out towards that way. The left side for Darren Lathrop, and Lathrop is going to pick up 7 yards, enough for a first down.
Saw Sam Hedrick, number 12. He came in as a linebacker, blitzed in. That gave him a little bit of space there on that screen pass. Great call offensively there by Manchester to move the sticks. Getting a little bit of momentum after that missed field goal.
Spartans get a new set of downs, and they're at the 43-yard line. Zimmerman's first 2 pass attempts have been completions to Abayagam and now Lathrop. Zimmerman fakes the give to Smith on the read option, and he's got room to work. Brings it back inside the hashes. A first down carry for Tyler Zimmerman of 15 yards. That's the longest play so far for the Manchester offense.
Great read by Zimmerman. That's what the RPO does. Put the ball on the belly, read what the defense does. They went with Smith. He pulled it back. Smith wanted to keep it, but great decision there by Zimmerman to, again, move the sticks. Now they're in the Fighting Engineers territory.
Zimmerman actually has negative yardage rushing the football, but with 2 carries here, he has 17 yards already.
Sacks go against rushing yards, which is one of the reasons why that is.
Yes. Lathrop in motion. Now Zimmerman rolls to his left towards Lathrop. Brings it back towards the middle of the field, and nobody in the area. No flag yet. Rose-Hulman might want a intentional grounding call against Zimmerman.
Abayagam was close by there. I wonder if he thought maybe he would.
And the ruling there from the referee is Zimmerman outside of the pocket.
One of the things you want your receivers to do when there's a rush and you break outside of the pocket, even though that was a rollout, is to improvise. They have things that they want to do, and I think Zimmerman thought Abayagam was going to do that.
Spartans have it in Rose-Hulman territory after the Zimmerman run. It's 2nd down. Another read option play with Smith, who bounces off a couple of blockers, and now taking some tacklers with him. Flag comes into the backfield, so this run may be wiped off. It was going to be 12 or 13 yards for Smith on the carry, but the flag looks to be in the area of holding.
Yeah, when it's the referee throwing it from behind, that's usually the call. That's going to set him back after a great run there by Smith, breaking some tackles. Another great read by Zimmerman. Offensively, Manchester, after that first drive, is doing great.
And the hold is going to push Manchester back. They tag Leon Williams with the holding call. The right guard on the Manchester offensive line. The rest of their offensive line: Austin Ellis at left tackle, Tyler Stone, Wayne Vaughn, and Joe Garland going from left to right. So now back towards midfield at the 50. 2nd down and 18.
This passing territory is not comfortable.
Quick pass out in the flat. It's Lathrop pushed out of bounds around the 40-yard line, so a decent pickup on 2nd down and long will bring up 3rd down and manageable for Manchester.
You get that penalty yardage back. That's a good play. Zimmerman wants to get comfortable throwing the football longer distances. That's a great call right there. But now you've got an opportunity to run it here if you want to on 3rd down in Rose-Hulman territory.
12-yard pickup. 3rd down and 6 now. Lathrop 2 catches for 19.
Watch 33 in white. See what he does here. Middle linebacker.
Stevens now comes up towards the line of scrimmage. Rose-Hulman showing blitz, and they bring 6. Zimmerman gets it out quickly, and it's off the hands of his receiver, trying to connect up with Joseph Powell.
Man, they had a great call there. Just a little bit behind him and too much of a fastball. Need to take a little bit off of that, and Powell could have snagged it, but it looks like they're going to go for it here. I love the decision here.
And definitely out of Kibler's range, although he has been lethal. It's going to be a hefty field goal from the 38-yard line. Manchester.
They've already got linebackers lined up in the defensive line. They want to stuff that run.
6 guys on the line of scrimmage from Rose-Hulman. They bring 5 of them. Zimber over the middle, and he can't hook up, going after Powell again. 2 consecutive slant routes over the middle of the field, and Manchester comes up empty.
Great pressure there by Bo Thomas, a 6-foot junior from Elmhurst, Illinois. You'll see him come right at the gut and put pressure on Zimmerman. Hits him right after he throws it.
Looks like Zimmerman had Powell. Stevens came in towards the middle of the field and kind of was in the area of Powell. Maybe affected that pass and where Zimmerman was trying to put it. But it's a turnover on downs. Back to the Fighting Engineers. Out towards the left. Pass complete. And not going down without a fight for Rose-Hulman is Noah Thomas.
Nice little wide receiver screen there. Got a good block. Got him some extra yardage. Get in the flow of the game again. Get rolling. Again, no huddle here for Rose-Hulman, so Manchester has to adjust quickly on defense.
Fighting Engineers with 30 on the play clock. They are moving fast. Handoff up the middle, across midfield, and breaking tackles en route to a long gain over into Manchester territory, taken down at the 35. That was Welshans.
I think he saw what David Smith was doing and was like, oh, you don't have to be a big man to do that. I'm 5'10". I'll show you what I can do. That was a great run.
20-yard pickup for Shane Wilshans. They fake it to him this time, and Dion looking deep over the middle of the field. Has his man, the connection, and the first score of the game goes to Rose-Hulman. Daniel Hury with the touchdown catch from 35 yards out.
What a beautiful throw from Dion. That's what he loves to do, the senior from San Diego, California. Got the nice little post route up in the middle of the field, and it goes in for 6.
Hury now takes the touchdown lead for the Rose-Hulman receivers with his 5th catch this year. And for Dion passing, it's touchdown number 17. PAT is up and good from Oliger. And the Fighting Engineers strike first, up 7-0 here at Spartan Stadium. It's the Heartland Game of the Week on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
A defensive stop for Rose-Hulman results in a drive down the field, and it ends in a 35-yard touchdown reception for Daniel Hury. Now the Fighting Engineers see this kickoff upcoming from Brett Tuttle, senior kicker. He sends things away from the 35. Smith back to return, but this kick is over his head into the end zone for a touchback.
Second touchback on the year for Toller, so...
And we'll get another look at this touchdown throw from Dion over the middle of the field.
Just a beautiful little route there. Well, it's more like a corner route since he's coming from the right side, but still just nice to the post, and boom, nailed it. Beat the defender, and it's on the board.
So now back out onto the field is Manchester with Zimmerman, who is 3 of 6 passing. Has hooked up with Lathrop twice. David Smith has seen a run of 12 yards, but has just 13 total yards rushing on 3 carries. Read option, and Rose-Hulman was going to have it covered either way. It looked like if Zimmerman kept it or gave it off, it was going to be a loss, and it ends up being minus 2 yards.
Tyler Smith on the stop there. I think one of the reasons why Manchester spreads them out there is to cause the DBs and the linebackers to cover those areas and maybe open it up more inside for David Smith. But right there, Tyler Smith made a great play and stopped him in a 2-yard loss.
5th tackle for loss this season for the junior from Spring, Texas. So now 3 receivers towards the right side on 2nd and 12. Zimmerman to pass. Deflected and batted down nicely by the corner of Rose-Hulman. Cameron Dorsey there, and he made it look awfully easy.
From Baton Rouge, went to LSU Laboratory High School. Nice job there with the pass breakup. That would be his 4th on the season.
Just a sophomore is Dorsey. And he puts Manchester into a 3rd down and long. 12 yards to go.
Another passing situation here. Let's see what they do.
Blitz coming from Rose-Hulman. They bring 6. Zimmerman nearly has it intercepted. In fact, the second guy may have, and he did. Interception for Rose-Hulman. Tice Miller from Bargersville, Indiana, picks up his 3rd INT on the year.
Right over the hands of Riley Roberts from Greenwood, Indiana, Center Grove High School. You'll see he almost got it, but the guys on the sidelines are in the way. But Miller made a great play there. It was kind of an in-between throw.
Yeah, deflected off the hands of Roberts, like you said, and right there behind it to pick up the interception is Rose-Hulman. And now they have great field position yet again from the 32.
You don't want to give them a short field.
Getting it out quickly, and he never caught it. Incompletion as Dion was trying to get it out to Thomas.
Looked like Haley Smith blew that up. If my numbers are correct. Great job reading it. Came in, blew it up completely.
Zimmerman tosses his 4th INT this year. And still without a touchdown pass on the season. Meanwhile, Dion trying to pick up his 2nd of the game. And he connects with Hury yet again. Shook the first guy, but tackled down inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. A gain of 17 for Rose-Hulman.
Great awareness in the pocket there by Dion. The rush was caving on him, just stepped up a little bit, even though the guy came around him, waiting for his receiver to get loose, fired it to him. Now they're inside the 20.
Hury's 2 catches now, 35 and 18 yards. New set of downs for Fighting Engineers, slant pattern. Another pass completion for Dion as he hooks up with Jalen Hobbs for the first time.
Again, Jalen Hobbs, the sophomore. They've just got tons of receivers they can go to. One even plays backup quarterback, Miguel Robertson, number 10. We may see him here soon as well.
That's 5 different receivers now with a catch for Rose-Hulman. 2nd down and 2.
Grisak, the tight end, is on the left side of the line for Rose.
They put it back on the ground. And getting close to that first down is Ruperta. We see the sophomore tailback for the first time.
241 yards on the season, 3 touchdowns, 5.0 yards per carry.
Ruperta.
Another Illinois kid.
Will Shands.
Gotta love it.
Getting most of the carries this season.
I always have much love for my home state, so let's see if they run it here.
On 3rd down and 1, they will. Back to Ruperta, who bounces it towards the outside, and getting close to that goal line is stood up right at the 2-yard line. It will be a first down, however, for Rose-Hulman, and they are in prime position here to score again. 1st and goal from the 2.
They got 4 shots to stick it in here from in here close.
And not wasting any time as Rose-Hulman back up to the line of scrimmage.
Markel Jackson on that tackle. The one thing you don't want on those running plays is the defensive backs to make the tackle.
Dion has Ruperta to his left. They fake the give to him, and now he's rolling out to his left, up into the end zone, and another touchdown throw for Andrew Dion, this time connecting with Noah Thomas from 2 yards out.
That's a beautiful ball when he's running to his left. It's hard to square your body up and throw it back that direction with your right arm. Beautiful throw and catch there for another touchdown.
Noah Thomas, after seeing Hury pick up his 5th touchdown grab, Thomas now with his 5th touchdown reception.
Hobbs is going to raise his hand on the sideline like, I want one too, guys.
Extra point is up and good from Oliger, and the Rose-Hulman offense in this first quarter of play. 2 touchdowns to talk about, both through the air from Dion. 14-0 our score. Heartland Game of the Week on IndianaSRN.
We're back.
14-0 now our score with Rose-Hulman on top. They made the 3-hour drive, 3 hours exact, over here to Manchester. A long trip for them, but we heard that they came in last night, so they slept in the area overnight. They didn't make the long drive in the morning, and they're showing they got some quality hours of sleep, it looks like, now with this 14-0 lead in this first quarter.
Well, I think, watching the Houston Astros take down the Red Sox to head to the World Series made them feel pretty good.
We're going to a little SRN jabs between Sean and the coach. Flag comes flying in on the return.
Well, there's lots of Texas guys on here. I don't see any Massachusetts. So,
hey, football's bigger in Texas. It's just different.
Everything's
you don't
Texas,
see much.
yeah.
You don't see much Massachusetts product in Indiana football.
We'll see what it's probably going to be a block in the back or the hole or a hold. There it is, a hold.
And it is the third holding penalty called against Manchester.
Not going to lie, I have family that lives in San Antonio. They've been down there for 10, 11, 12 years. They're UT fans. I'm like, come on now. Like, you got UTSA, blue and orange, just like Illinois where you're from. Go that route, or TCU at least. I mean.
Oh, yeah, TCU's
great.
Like,
don't root for Texas. That's like rooting for the Yankees.
Texas is indeed not back.
No. A&M looked pretty good, though. I would go for TCU if it was me.
I agree. That's a good pick. Andy Dalton, Chicago Bear quarterback. How about that?
Chicago Bear bench quarterback.
That's your team. Manchester now back out on offense, and Smith nowhere to go. Takes a couple of hits before being gang tackled down. No gain on that play.
Tyson Miller came in and popped him after that spin move.
Rose-Hulman defense gives up 22 points a game to their opponents. Last game, they limited Anderson to just 139 total yards of offense. Meanwhile, they had 422 of their own.
They have 11 interceptions now in the year. At the time, they came in with 10, which was second in the league. But their rush defense is first in the league.
Zimmerman on a keeper. Everybody towards the right side of the field, and Zimmerman comes near side. Just 2 yards on that pickup.
Connor Schulte, 6'1" senior from Oswego. That's near where my family used to live in Chicago.
You just have family everywhere.
I'm telling you, they moved from Chicago to San Antonio. And Oswego, we go right through Oswego as we go to their house. I recognized a lot of these, actually, Joliet's and Oswego's and Brimfield.
Get a lot of different cities and towns mentioned in D3 football in the Heartland Conference. Sack on the play, and on the takedown is Bo Thomas.
15th sack on the year. Devin Cobb had some pressure, too, from the right side, a junior from Columbus. And, if you hold them on first and second down when they try and run the football, you're going to pin your ears back because they have to throw on third down. And Manchester's offensive line has their work cut out for them today.
Kibler back out to punt for the second time. He's standing at his own 9-yard line. Spiraling punt is a short punt that bounces at the Manchester 45 and doesn't take a favorable roll for them. It is down at the 44.
We have played most of this first quarter on this side of the field, and that is not what you want if you're the Spartans. And like we said, Rose-Hulman's licking their chops, getting these short fields, and they're taking advantage of it. Manchester rose up on the very first one. They've got to rise up again here and get a stop.
Just 47.3 left on the clock in this first quarter.
Oh, I see Keith's buddy, the Spartan.
Had a tremendous interview with him 2 weeks ago. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch it.
Best interview Keith's ever had.
Yeah, he made the Spartan mascot look pretty good. 2 receivers both sides. Run game. It's been working favorably well for Rose-Hulman. It's back to Welshans. His 4th carry goes for 4.
A lot of teams run to set up the pass. To me, it seems like Rose-Hulman passes to set up the run. And also, a little bit of their passing game is West Coast offense-ish, doing these wide receiver screens, which are essentially runs for them.
Fighting Engineers possibly trying to run another play before the end of the quarter. The game clock and play clock are even. And Rose-Hulman will run one more final play. Dion feeling the pressure. spins out of it. Throws from the 50, and it should have been intercepted by the Spartans. That was Jamal Hubbard. We also see a flag come in as we've reached the end of the first quarter.
Tried to get it to Welshans, and again, rolling out to his left. That's a tough throw to make. Maybe didn't see the defender or tried to get it over him, didn't get enough on it, but that's probably going to be a hold where it's at.
Hubbard had a 70-yard interception return 2 weeks ago when we were here for that game against Defiance, and he was then named Defensive Player of the Game for that week in the Heartland Conference. Still checking on this flag. Appears it's going to go against Rose-Hulman. And indeed it will. It's a holding call against the Fighting Engineers. That'll push them back and bring up a 2nd down and long as the 15 new minutes is getting put onto the scoreboard, and we have the coach back out on the sideline.
That's why we're wearing this orange ribbon. Also, Hanover lost a great player, as Sean was talking about as well. It's been a great day. A lot of orange and a lot of people remembering T-Man. He did take some ice cream yesterday, and he's doing a little bit better. We're hoping for the best of him. Also, Sean, you know, Boston did lose, but Houston is still in it, so we'll see who will win the World Series. Back up to you guys.
We just got to hope the Atlanta Braves take down the Dodgers, so we get a new champion this year.
We'll see.
Keith and I are big baseball guys. I love all sports, but
I'm a baseball.
This is a great time of year. We're right in the heart of college football season, especially in conference play. The NFL's right in the middle of it. We got the baseball playoffs, hockey and basketball are both beginning. It's a great time to be a sports fan.
Well, I was just about to say, it was, a day or two ago, there was a sports equinox.
Yes.
So all 4 major leagues, in fact, you could add golf in there as well, maybe some soccer, but all of those professional leagues in the States were active during this week. So it is indeed a great time to be a sports fan.
It is. You get that.
So it looks like they ran a untimed down to end the first quarter, and it ends up being an incompletion from Dion.
Try to get to Ty Saliu.
So now we will have a brand new 15 minutes put on the scoreboard when we come back for the second quarter. Rose-Hulman leads at 14-0 in the Heartland Game of the Week on IndianaSRN. Back at the 50-yard line where Rose-Hulman will have this 3rd down and 16 as we begin the second quarter. Out to Welshans. Has a few blockers in front and able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. And during the break, we're checking a couple of the other college football games in action. Your Illini are playing 7th ranked Penn State. They're hanging in there as the third quarter just got started, only down 10-7. Couple of really close games with some highly ranked team. Cincinnati only up 13-10 over Navy in the third quarter. Also in the third, get this, Oklahoma trailing Kansas 10-7.
Wow. Trying to effort some of the other scores too in the conference. Oh my goodness.
High end over end punt is going to take a bounce at the 28 and go back over the 30 to the 31.
Here you go. You want to talk about a surprise? At the end of one quarter of play, Franklin 0, Anderson 0.
One of the other Heartland games going on, the 4 of them every single week. The other 2 games that are playing this afternoon is Hanover at Bluffton. Panthers trying to get another conference win after last week. And then also Mount St. Joseph is at Defiance. Tackle for a loss, a big loss all the way back to the 23. It's going to be a loss of 10 yards after Zimmerman got popped.
That was a bum rush, as they say. It was. Look at all the guys in the backfield here. Zimmerman tried to throw a screen pass. He had no shot, as everybody just said, let's meet at the quarterback. They look like the 85 Bears right there. For those of you old enough to remember that. Greatest defense of all time.
Nanu Fabu was the one to get the sack on Zimmerman. You just love the Bears, don't you? Actually, Tyler Smith for Rose-Hulman made the tackle. That's his third sack on the season. David Smith, they go back to him, and he's able to pick up 5.
Again, you're stuck in 3rd down and long in a passing situation, and this is where Rose-Hulman, as we've seen, has pinned their ears back. They're going to put 5 down linemen. They're going to come hard. Watch Stevens, the linebacker, right there in the middle.
Stevens stands at the 30 now. Crowns on top of the center. Knocks him over as Zimmerman looks to pass, and it's going to hit the turf, fall incomplete.
There was a little bit of contact there. It was incidental. The Manchester coaches wanted a flag on that, but I think more than anything, the ball was uncatchable.
The last 5 pass attempts from Zimmerman, 4 of them incompletions and the 1 interception. He is just 3 of 9 for 25 yards passing. And now we see another punt upcoming from Kibler. This will be his 3rd. Able to get this one away, end over end, takes a nice Manchester bounce and actually hits the returner before he's knocked out of bounds. After the first quarter, Defiance is tied 7-7. So that's another score update for you across the Heartland Conference.
Trying to see who we've lost who they're playing.
And Defiance is going up against... Oh, just had it. There it is, Mount St. Joseph.
Wow, tied at 7.
Mount St. Joseph is another 3-0 team on top of the Heartland Conference, them in Rose-Hulman. As beginning this drive with a run to Welshans.
This is going to be
pick up 8.
This is going to be a dogfight for the conference title this year. You've got a lot of good squads. Mount St. Joseph, you've got Rose-Hulman here, you've got Hanover, and Manchester's still in it as well. If they can rise up here, it's just going to be a fun end of the conference season.
Those are the 4 teams at the top of the conference as the Fighting Engineers get it back to Welshans, who puts a left arm out there for a stiff arm, and a late flag comes flying in. Losing his helmet for Manchester was Jaquan Walker.
Now, the stiff arm got the helmet off, but I wonder if him standing over him, it's going to be the retaliation that gets the flag here, because that almost always that happens.
And it's usually the second man that gets called for a penalty like that. That time, it being Walker. We'll see what the referees go with. It indeed will be Walker, who, lost the helmet and kind of stood over the running back for Rose-Hulman, and that's going to end up being a costly penalty, putting Rose-Hulman into Manchester territory.
Those are the things we talked about pregame show that Manchester can't do if they want to stay in this game. Only down 2 touchdowns. It's within reach now, but boy, they need a big stop here again.
Rose-Hulman now has it at the 46 with Dion. First pass of this drive, and he's going deep. Trying to get to Thomas, who makes an awkward catch. Does he actually catch it? He does. At the 10-yard line and throw the penalty on top of it. How does Noah Thomas reel in that pass?
And got bent backwards, too, at the same time. What a catch.
It's a 36-yard pickup. And now we'll check on the flag. It's going to be pass interference against Manchester, so that won't matter. But how about the catch from Thomas? That looked impossible.
Well, Manchester got great pressure on Dion, which caused him to throw it off his back foot, which was why it was short. But that actually helped Thomas because he had to come back to the football, which caused the pass interference, but he still caught it.
Noah Thomas gets his 32nd catch this year. And towards the back of the end zone, wide open in the corner. It's Daniel Hury again. That's his second touchdown grab of the game, and it puts the Fighting Engineers on top 20-0.
Boy, he can't be that wide open. He running across the back of the end zone. Nobody was within 5 yards of him.
Third touchdown pass for Dion. The second time he's found Hury, and Hury picked up his 5th touchdown grab. Thomas said, hold up, wait a minute. I'll take my 5th one as well. And now Hury retakes the lead, his 6th touchdown grab on the year. Extra point from Oliger is up and good. And the Fighting Engineers extend their lead 21-0 now on the road at Manchester, the Heartland Game of the Week on IndianaSRN.
You're good at making big announcements.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Back here at Spartan Stadium as the Fighting Engineers being road warriors up 21-0, 3 touchdown passes from Dion as we await this kick upcoming from Rose-Hulman.
This broadcast is copyrighted by the IndianaSRN and the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, videos, and audio without the express written permission of the HCAC is prohibited. And you can follow the Heartland Conference at HCACDIII, that's D3, on Twitter to keep up to date with all the scores and everything you want to know.
Coming in at the 10 on the kickoff return, and going the other way is Manchester. Could be a touchdown down the far sideline. A kickoff return of 90 yards for Manchester. Jimmy Rigney.
That is the shot of adrenaline that Manchester needed. Markel Jackson's usually the returner they have back there, but Rigney was back there, and boy, he made it worth it.
And you talked about Spartans need to come up with something to put themselves back into this game, build some sort of momentum, and they do right there, 90 yards to the house. Manchester offense has struggled, but the special teams comes up big and cuts the lead back to 14 for Rose-Hulman. It's now 21-7. We'll take another break. Back with 11:28 left to go in the second quarter.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
For Manchester on the kickoff return, Carmelo Gurley, freshman from Birmingham, Alabama, showing off the speed, shot like a rocket through the middle of the field.
Well, you know, when Nick Saban watched this broadcast, he's going to call down and be like, hey, I could use that guy on the return squad.
Gurley, just a freshman, making a difference and showing off the quick feet.
I mean, that was a great hole. And he saw it and just rocketed right through it. And, boy, once he got through that first line of defense, nobody was going to catch him.
Now makes it a 21-7 game. A short kickoff from Kibler is caught at the 30 and taken to the 35 by John Hruska of the Fighting Engineers. Back and taking another look at this kickoff by Gurley.
The Red Sea parted right there. Made one man miss.
And just has the 2 guys left to beat 3 guys. And he outruns them all.
You sure that wasn't Devin Hester?
He's got the number.
And that's true. You didn't say, you are ridiculous.
Rose-Hulman back out on offense. Here's some speed on their end. And running down that same sideline, and a flag comes in. A late tackle out of bounds after Hury got the jet sweep.
Was that on Masden? Nope.
Going from the 35 all the way to the opposite 30.
It's a great call coming out of that kickoff. It's Yazue Castro they're going to get for that penalty. They do tag Castro with the late hit. 15 yards tacked onto the end of the run. It was already a 35-yard run for Hury. And add on the penalty yardage, Rose-Hulman finds themselves in the blink of an eye at the 27 of Manchester. I think if he'd have pushed him down instead of like driving him down, he might not have got that penalty, but.
Quick pass, caught for the first time. Ty Saliu reels in a catch. Actually, that's his second catch, and it's good for another first down.
6'2 junior from Java, Virginia. I wonder if they like coffee there. Hargrave Military Academy.
New set of downs from the 14. Deion sends Hury in motion. The give is to Ruperta. Short pickup this time as Manchester there to bring him down on the gang tackle.
They wanted to run a little clock here, and, you know, again, throwing to set I'll get it out. Throwing to set up the run. Ruperta is the second running back after Welshans. You know, they're giving each other a little bit of a rest here, but we'll see what they dial up here.
Again, they bring Hury in motion, and now Deion is forced all the way back to the 22. Sack on the play for Manchester. Number 85, Sam Huffman.
In 51, Devontae Moore, and he tried to spin out of it, but Moore was on the other side waiting for him, and then he went down.
Huffman, the sophomore from Bremen, Indiana, now has 3.5 sacks on the year.
That's a big play you needed if you're Manchester. Now it's 3rd and forever.
3rd down and 23, but before that, we get a whistle and a timeout coming from the Manchester sideline. We'll take a timeout with them. 9:38 left to go. Rose-Hulman sees a 3rd down and 23 when we come back. Both teams over at their sidelines during this timeout as Fighting Engineers see a 3rd down and 23 upcoming. Still in field goal range, it appears, but I'm guessing they're going to want to try and convert this or at least get a little bit closer.
Yeah, the routes that have really caused damage to Manchester have been the post routes, so watch what they do here, especially with the slot receiver on this left-hand side. Hury.
Hury has Ty Saliu to his left. The receivers out for Rose-Hulman. Manchester bringing a late blitz. Dion towards the end zone, going back to Hury, and he got a little bump, but no flags come in. And Hury was just stopped in his tracks by the DB of Manchester.
I wonder if they're going to go for it here, because I'm not sure they haven't tried a ton of field goals this year. Not sure if Oliger has the leg for that.
Markel Jackson was there to stop Hury, and maybe just out of their range at the 27. Rose-Hulman will opt to go for it here on 4th and very long. This time Hury is at the top of the screen in the slot. Dion.
Blitz.
Over the middle of the field. Wide open is Ty Saliu. Actually, that's Noah Thomas, number 8. And Thomas and Hury are just exchanging touchdown grabs, each of them now with 2.
He just got lost in the wash right there. Guys crossing in both ways, and the defensive back just lost him. Coming all the way across. Yep, the zone coverage didn't come down. See him, got him wide open. Nice patience there. Great job protecting on that blitz by the offensive line and running back of Rose-Hulman.
Really deep crossing patterns. Sees Thomas wide open over the middle of the field. He's got 2 touchdown grabs along with Daniel Hury. That makes 4 touchdown passes for Andrew Dion in this first half of play. And we still have 9:25 left to go in this one from Manchester.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
And I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie's delicious.
Back here at Spartan Stadium as Rose-Hulman goes back up 21 points, now 28-7 after Thomas scored from 27 yards out on 4th down and 23, no less.
Huge call, great play. Went a little deeper with the post route as he was coming across the zone defense. The DB let him go and expected the safety to come down to cover him. Confusion there, as you'll see, as he comes across the left, the cornerback releases him and expects the safety to be there. He wasn't. Boom, 6 points. And Rose-Hulman said, I see your pooch kick, and I'll raise you one after that kickoff return for a touchdown.
So they keep it out of the hands of Gurley this time. Noah Thomas now 4 catches for 73 yards, 2 of those going into the end zone. Manchester trying to get some rhythm, something going offensively, and it won't happen here on this first play. Just maybe half a yard on the carry for Smith.
You're going to have to throw some, in my opinion, some razzle-dazzle in there really to kind of to get some big chunks of yardage.
You see Dave Paul in the backfield now. He got that previous carry. It wasn't Smith, so first time we've seen number 2 in the backfield. Zimmerman now looking to pass and feels the pressure. He's going to go down again. Another sack for the Rose-Hulman defense. This time, Devin Cobb getting into the backfield.
Zimmerman's got to recognize that and just get rid of the football. Throw it out of bounds. Throw it near a receiver. You can't take the sack because now you're back in deep passing yardage again here on 3rd down. And they haven't completed a pass in the air over 6, 7, 8 yards today. So this is asking a lot of your squad. Zimmerman's just got to get rid of the ball and live to fight another day.
Zimmerman pushed back for a loss of 12 yards on the sack. 3rd down and 22 now. Obvious passing situation here. Although crowding the box and bringing more pressure was Rose-Hulman, but Coach Jensen opting to take a timeout and talk this one over a little bit more. 8:01 on the game clock and 3rd down and 22 upcoming for the Spartans offense.
Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. You know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year, all sorts of sports. Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Back here at Spartan Stadium, as Manchester out of the timeout now at the 15-yard line, facing 3rd down and 22. Zimmerman looking to pass, and it's tipped, intercepted by Rose-Hulman, and it's going to be a pick 6 for the Fightin' Engineers. Winston Amankwa.
House call.
For Amankwa, the senior from Columbus. That's his 2nd interception on the year, and a defensive score really puts an exclamation point on this first half for Rose-Hulman, but we still have a little under 8 minutes left to go.
Again, a little bit of indecision there by Zimmerman, overthrew his receiver, just trying to, the pressure really has caused a lot of havoc for Zimmerman. He's a freshman, getting used still to the speed of the game, and it's rough. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. We may see Carter Campasi here, the junior, here a little bit later on the game, but
we'll see what happens with the Manchester offense moving forward still. Like we said, 7:53 left to play in this first half.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
Hey, stay tuned for the halftime show with Keith Myers. We've got all that athletics of Manchester, AD, women's basketball coach, and baseball coach. Stay tuned for that, Keith. And maybe eventually, maybe we'll eventually also get Keith's Kitchen going on. It's a basketball coach. I don't know if it's women's or men's. I forget. And so, hey, if you want to know more about IndianaSRN, check out our website, IndianaSRN.org. We webcast more than 300 games a year. You know, you can also follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN.
We had 6 football games last night on the Family of Networks. Sectional play opening up the very first round. And we'll have some more games for you as well next Friday, entering the second round of sectional play.
Score update here in the conference. Hanover leads Bluffton 20-0 as they're getting close to halftime.
And we are here as well. Rose-Hulman has scored 3 touchdowns in the last 3 minutes and 50 seconds of play. Tackle for a loss again. Rose-Hulman just pushing back this line of Manchester.
Jonathan Anstedt, senior from East Aurora, New York, with the great push. And David Smith just has nowhere to go.
Smith on 7 carries, just 15 yards. And Zimmerman started off good, positive in the running game, had 3 carries for 19, but now has had 3 consecutive plays of negative yardage. He's now at -7 rushing the football. Smith is the man in motion. Zimmerman will keep it. And there he goes. First down for Zimmerman into Rose-Hulman territory. Gets a bump.
No.
Out of bounds, and no flag comes in.
Wow.
Coach Jensen was wanting one. But still, Zimmerman is able to get things to the 42.
That's one thing about Zimmerman, and this isn't a knock on him, his size. He's able to kind of hide behind those linemen and the tight end, Abiagam, and find space and snuck through like he did right there. They need more of that to get into the territory of Rose-Hulman like they are now.
19 yards on the pickup for Zimmerman. That's his longest run of the day and the longest play offensively as well for Manchester. Zimmerman now takes the snap. Handoff to Smith, and here's a long run for David Smith to the 15-yard line. 27 on the pickup for number 34, and now that is the longest offensive play for Manchester.
Nice job there by the offensive line, opening the hole for Smith. Got a great block from his wide receiver, too, on the DB, who had to reassess and come back up to make the tackle, but not after a huge chunk of yards there. You can see the DB coming in to make the tackle, and they're knocking at the door, which is exactly what Manchester needs right now.
David Smith coming into this one had 46 carries for 290, has reached the end zone 3 times as we see a timeout called by the defense of Rose-Hulman, and they see 2 chunk yardage plays go against them. Those 2 plays accumulated for 46 yards. So take the timeout. Maybe your defense is a little gassed up. You're trying to keep this lead at a marginal favor right now at 28.
You definitely need to score here. You still got 6 minutes to go. There's plenty of time. Hey, if you like what we're doing and you like what we're doing with the Heartland Conference and you want to see more sports in the Heartland Conference, contact your AD, contact your school, and have them coach at IndianaSRN.org. We'd love to put more of your kids on TV.
That's the second time we've been to Manchester University. We've great people up here in the box that they have treated us very well. They've given us what we needed. Shout out to the SID being Dylan Bender. He's been tremendous for us. So
got a lot going on today here too with the soccer game as well.
Yeah, soccer just behind us here. So a couple things going on the campus of Manchester right now. The Spartans football team trying to get it back into the end zone. They haven't been able to do so offensively today. And this run by Smith pushes them back to the 20. This is a loss of 5 yards.
Tyler Smith, Michael Stevens, both there for Rose-Hulman. It's almost feast or famine for Rose-Hulman, for Manchester on the run. Either they're stopped for no gain or lose yardage, or they break off big chunks of it. They've got to find a little bit of that middle ground, too, to keep the chains moving.
Just 2.8 yards per carry for the Manchester run game.
We had 30-38 on 2 carries earlier in the drive, and that shows you how much yardage they've lost with that yards per carry.
Thought about throwing it, will now cut it back towards the middle of the field. He's going to gain 6, and now it's a 3rd down and 9.
Stevens again on the tackle there, and Zimmerman, the 5'9" freshman from Fruitport High School in Muskegon, Michigan, is going to enjoy that ice bath after the game today, the hits he's been taking.
Stevens with another tackle for Rose-Hulman. Under 5 left to go in this first half. Zimmerman will take the snap and move towards his right. Going to the 5-yard line. Pass is batted down nicely. He was trying to go after Lathrop.
Chai So from Decatur Central with the pass breakup there. His 5th pass breakup of the year. 5'10" junior.
And there are a lot of, just looking at the numbers for this secondary of Rose-Hulman, a lot of guys with interceptions on the year. And that's obviously not an interception, but pass breakups. You can tell these guys are ball hawks for the Fighting Engineers. And they've only limited Manchester to 7 points, as this field goal is good, but there is a flag down. Kibler was able to knock it through from 30, but still checking in on the flag, which is right now sitting at the 15-yard line.
It's going to have to be a bigger call on Rose-Hulman to get first down yardage. They may just take the points.
And you could see the reaction from the Spartans. They knew it was against them, and that is going to push Manchester back possibly out of field goal range.
My goodness.
The ball is now at the 29. It was a illegal block below the waist. But they're still going to keep Kibler out there. He's been dynamite this season. This one is going to be from 46.
Rose sending somebody back just in case it's short.
Kibler's kick is blocked at the line. Live football. Rose-Hulman picking it up from the 1, and now a return.
Oh, boy.
Going down the far sideline for the Fighting Engineers, Rashard Brown. And Brown is tackled at the Manchester 31. A great return. The block up front initially, and then Brown opting to pick it up and take it all the way down to the 31.
And it was surprising where it landed. I'm surprised he picked it up. And some unhappy people in the booth here.
Could see the deflection, and that is, I
yeah.
mean, for not being able to pick it up clean the first time, a risky attempt to pick it up for Brown.
And great pursuit there by the field goal team of Manchester, or that would have been a house call too.
And now all of a sudden, another chance to score for Rose-Hulman. Try to extend this lead and put 42 first half points up. We get a whistle before this play. Rose-Hulman was able to pick up 8 yards on first down from Welshans. And we get a timeout called by Coach Jensen of Manchester. They're going to talk things over. The final 4 minutes left to go in this first half from Spartan Stadium.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
Back right before this snap from Rose-Hulman, Dion looking to pass towards the end zone. 2 defenders there and getting pushed down. Easy pass interference call made there against Manchester. Dion trying to get it to Jalen Hobbs.
Yeah, Markel Jackson. If he just runs him out of bounds and doesn't extend his arms, I don't think that's a call, but he just flat out pushed him, and that's going to get the flag every single time.
And a couple of pass interference calls to talk about for this Manchester secondary. This will give Rose-Hulman an automatic first down. They'll mark off the yardage and put Rose-Hulman inside the 10 at the Manchester 8. Dion with Welshans to his left. Welshans now moving towards the right side of the field. Tackle for a short gain as he's able to get it close to the 5.
Folks, you have to understand, this Manchester defense is good. They have held people scoreless. They have held high-powered offenses in check. This Rose-Hulman offense is outstanding.
That it is, and Rose-Hulman trying to score yet again. They're getting awfully close each time. Will Shands, actually it was Ruperta that time, plowing forward to the 1.
And granted, they've had a short field numerous times and a pick 6 as well. Is right up to the line. Here we go. Probably going to be a sneak.
Dion gets close, almost a jump from Manchester, trying to push the pile forward. Is Rose-Hulman? Did they break the play, and did he fumble the football? It looks like he did as Manchester comes away with it.
Are they going to call him down, or they're going to?
Well, Dion sneaked it and was stood up immediately. The pile wasn't moving at all.
And now there's a powwow here to see what's going to happen.
Well, the referees converge for discussion. Manchester looks like they think they have it, and that will be the call. It's a fumble by Rose-Hulman and a recovery for the Spartans defense. That is a huge stop on a goal line situation.
You are correct. That was huge. I wish we could see who stripped it out, but there you can see it's starting to come out. 21, Marvin Collins with the fumble recovery, the junior from Riviera Beach, Florida. Huge play for the Spartans.
Another thing, too, was there wasn't much going on and there was no whistle either from the referee. His forward progress was stopped and that pile was not moving. But how about the Manchester defense stripping that one out? Now a jump ball up for grabs, and Manchester gives it right back. Interception for Rose-Hulman. This is Tice Miller with a flag coming in late.
Uh-oh. It's starting to get a little chippy out there.
And some pushing and shoving. More flags. Another flag. There's just 3 flags down now.
It's laundry day.
And after the fumble recovery, Zimmerman throws up a jump ball into double coverage, and the Engineers take it right back. So now we will get this figured out between the referees. Plenty of flags to talk about. And Coach, you're down on the sideline. What's your vantage point of that previous play?
Well, let me tell you before, the great call by the officials. He lost the ball on the way in. They had to see if it would cross the plane. It didn't. That's a great call. The interception, that was a great catch. And then you had a little scuffle, as we would call in rugby, a scrum. Back up to you guys.
It's post-possession, so it's obvious the ball is going to stay with Rose-Hulman. It's just a matter if it's offsetting and different things like that to see where they're actually going to spot the ball once Rose-Hulman takes possession.
And all 6 referees are in a meeting. So there's the explanation from the head referee. The personal foul against Manchester goes against Austin Ellis. That's the left tackle for the Spartans. And then the illegal blindside block came from Riley Roberts, the safety from Greenwood. So those fouls end up resulting in Rose-Hulman having the football at the 15-yard line. So they get it right back after the fumble. And Zimmerman throws his second interception.
As many flags that went up, I was surprised that we didn't see an ejection.
So, still a chance to score for Rose-Hulman. They'll try to score quickly. It's a jump ball. Caught for the touchdown. This time, it's a new receiver. It's Adam Taisaliu who gets involved. The third different player to catch a touchdown pass from Dion, and that's 5 total now for the senior quarterback.
He just throws it up there and says, Adam, go up and get it, big fella. And he does and gets the foot down. That's great. That's great coverage by Jaquan Walker. Just a better play by Ty Saliu.
And Saliu does have the height advantage over Jaquan Walker. And how about these previous 3 plays? Fumble, interception, and then a touchdown. Rose-Hulman finds the end zone again.
With some flags thrown in there, too.
Yeah, throws those flags in there. We still have 2:34 left to play in this first half on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
And we're back at Manchester University. The Spartans give it away on the interception, and then the ensuing play, Andrew Dion finds Adam Saliu, junior receiver, for the 15-yard score. That's the 5th touchdown pass now for Andrew Dion on the season. Dion now has 21 touchdown passes, just 6 interceptions. And we'll be able to get another look at this pass to Adam Saliu, who picks up touchdown number 2 on the season for him.
Again, just a great play by Ty Saliu. You go up and get the feet down, more toe wag swag.
And how about the ball from Dion? Well placed, where only his man can go get it at number 9.
You got to start passing the football if you are Manchester, and I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised that Carter Campasi's not in yet.
Dion has completed his last 5 passes. He now has over 200 yards passing in this football game. Back to the run game for Manchester, and just nowhere to go. Swamped for no gain as David Smith again. This Rose-Hulman defense is swarming to the football.
That was the word that was in my head too. I was trying to think of a word for desert swarm, but since we're in the Midwest, it's
just no desert, just swarm.
It's a wasp swarm, and
yes.
Hey, the old wives' tale, the old fabric softener works for us. Gotta love that.
If you haven't known, we've had some interesting experiences with wasp in the few press boxes that we have been in for these Heartland games. Zimmerman's pass towards the sideline is complete, and a nice catch there before going out for Joseph Powell.
We have not called Harrison Greer's name all day. He's the leading receiver for Manchester. Surprised they haven't tried to go after him, but maybe the coverage by Tice Miller is just too good.
Zimmerman now with just his 4th completion. He finds Powell for the first time, 32 yards through the air for Manchester. And they have 1:39 left to play to try and get some more points up on the scoreboard. Zimmerman with the keeper, a couple pulling blocks. He won't pick up the first down, just 2 yards when they needed 3.
I like the call there by Manchester with the quarterback draw. I think they sensed that Rose-Hulman was going to blitz, which they did, but they're going to send in the punter. Wow.
And Rose-Hulman opting not to take a timeout. They do have 2 left to use. But the Spartans look like they're content with trying to run this clock out and prevent Rose-Hulman from scoring again.
Be under a minute once Rose-Hulman gets the football. Surprised they haven't taken a timeout.
The punt from Kibler, who does all the kicking duties, takes a nice Manchester bounce and a couple of bounces to the 2-yard line. Nicely done by Andrew Kibler, who's been Special Teams Player of the Week a few times in his career at Manchester.
Well, you've got to imagine with the ball being that deep in their own territory, they're probably just going to take a knee and call it a half when you've already put up 42 points in the first half. That's a pretty good day.
And speaking of players of the week in football, it's Andrew Dion, who Sean is pointing at his QBR, which is, I didn't even think this number was possible,
I didn't think so either.
He's at 261 is his QBR. 13 of 18 for 209 yards is Dion, and him and the offense are back out there with the end zone towards their backs, and they're trying to give a little bit more room, which they do on this give for Wilshans.
I think that number under TDs that says 5 helps there as well.
And for Dion, he was Offensive Player of the Week back in Week 1.
Well, they've got Thomas with 3 touchdowns and Hury with 2. I could have swore Ty Sally had that last one.
Here's another run for Welshans, and he's running over the defense of Manchester en route to a first down. 12 yards on the carry for Shane Welshans, who now has 60 total yards on 10 carries.
Three interceptions for Manchester in this first half, and that's really hurt them.
And that has been one of the differences in nearly every category. You can certainly think Rose-Hulman is leading offensively and defensively, and that's why they're on top 42-7. We'll take it down to the field with Coach, who has the Manchester head coach, Nate Jensen.
Can't move the ball. What's the source of it?
We just need to execute. I mean, when we make all the blocks, when we hold on to the football, when we make tackles, when we cover people, we're pretty good. But when we don't, obviously we're giving up big plays to a good football team.
Manchester scoring at will at times, and just the defense just can't get that done off the field.
We'll make corrections at halftime, get it right.
He's got a little grin on his face, so he's got something planned. But, fellas, tough first half for Manchester. Back up to you. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks so much, Keith. The coach with Nate Jensen, who is 0-4 taking on Rose-Hulman, and it looks like, as of right now, that mark could be 0-5. And on the other side, just great things for Rose-Hulman. Their head coach, Jeff Sokol, could end up becoming 10-0 against Manchester.
You scored 5 touchdowns, and you've got 42 points because you had the defensive touchdown as well on one of those 3 interceptions. You've got to like what you've seen from your offense. It doesn't hurt that on most of those drives you've gotten a short field because of some of the mistakes that Manchester made. They've got to really shore that up and play clean football in the second half if they wanted to keep this score down on Rose-Hulman's part.
15 first downs picked up for Rose-Hulman, just 5 for Manchester. 285 total yards of offense for the Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. They lead it 42-7 as we enter our halftime. Stay tuned. The coach will be on the sidelines with a couple of halftime guests, so don't go anywhere. Stick around for that. Again, 42-7, our halftime score here at Spartan Stadium. It's the Heartland Game of the Week on IndianaSRN.
How much time do I have?
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
My name is Brittany. A little thing I love about the Egg White Grill is the toasty English muffin. It's toasted perfectly. It's just a little crispy, but not like hard crispy, but just crispy enough that when you bite into it, everything is perfect.
My name is Curtis, and I love the Egg White Grill because the egg itself, it's like soft and fluffy, like a pillow. I wouldn't eat my pillow, but I'd eat the Chick-fil-A breakfast egg white sandwich for sure.
I'm actually a 5th generation student here at Manchester. All 4 of my grandparents went to Manchester. Both of my parents went to Manchester as well. I followed in the footsteps of my older brother as well in coming here. And that's kind of been a fun tradition to hear everybody's stories from Manchester while also making my own memories here. I didn't originally want to go to Manchester due to how close it was to home, but I toured here first and I really loved this warm, inviting campus where people would open doors for you. And people would stop on the sidewalk and catch up for 5 to 10 minutes. And when I was looking at other schools, I really missed that opportunity, that feeling of being at home. I realized that Manchester is really where I fit in and where I belonged. My 2 pieces of advice would be to get involved really early on. There are a lot of great clubs on campus and organizations to be a part of. You get to find people who are like you and enjoy the same interests and activities as you. And it's a chance to grow as a person and to make a great group of peers and community and friends around you. My other piece of advice would be to travel abroad. Manchester has this really unique tradition with our January term classes, and that's been probably one of my favorite experiences I've ever had here. And I've had the awesome opportunity to travel off campus 3 times. I'm signed up right now to go on the Hawaii cross-cultural class. That's actually a fun one for me because that's a class that my grandfather started, traveling to Hawaii to learn about the different cultures there in cross-cultural psychology. So I'm really hoping it gets to go, but if it doesn't, I'm sure I'll still get to learn about cross-cultural psychology and go to Hawaii at some point in my life. Another one I went on was a medical practicum to Guatemala, and that was a life-changing experience. We went with 10 to 15 healthcare providers to a rural area in Guatemala that doesn't get healthcare on a yearly basis. And so it was amazing to see these healthcare providers provide care in an up-close and personal view. My mom, Lori Zimmerman, was also a part of the medical practicum. Most kids get to visit their parents on the Take Your Kid to Work day. And I've never gotten to see her work until we were in Guatemala, and I got to work with her for a day. And that was really interesting to see the impact she has on people, see the tenderness as she works with people, but also the intelligence as she's running through her head, all the different diagnoses it could be, the best way to present information. It's really interesting to see how she uses her liberal arts Manchester education to apply the psychology as well as the communication she's learned with her medical advice and her experience. So that was a life-changing experience to be able to really immerse myself into the field of healthcare.
I'm Keith Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. You know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year, all sorts of sports. Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
Halftime here at Manchester University. We'll take it down to the coach. He's got a special guest for us.
We do special guest for you, the baseball coach, the athletic director. Coach Rick is with us, and not a very good first half.
Yeah, it's kind of been a rough start, but I know Coach Jansen will go in and gather the troops up, and we'll be ready for the second half.
Been an interesting year all through the conference. Some sad moments, some really good moments. Reflect on a little bit of how the unity of the conference works when all those things that just could go wrong does go wrong, but the support of every single athletic director and then the university pick each other up.
Yeah, and that's easy to do. We have great leadership in the conference office with Jay Jones and Stacy, and So yeah, there's been some tough times, and especially last weekend and earlier this fall, and if you follow social media, you can see as an example, all the women's basketball teams kind of paying tribute to the tragedy that happened at Hanover. So we feel fortunate to be in the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. A lot of esprit de corps across the conference with our coaches, with our ADs, with our administrators. So we're just blessed to be here.
Talk a little bit about IndianaSRN. Now this is our first year. It looks like we're going to be doing the volleyball semifinals and finals. Kind of excited about that. Look like we may be doing basketball. Has that helped motivate some people? And that's got to be helping the conference throughout?
Without a doubt. I think it just raises the level a little bit. Our student athletes compete as hard as student athletes at different levels, and they really appreciate the promotion and the visibility and the respect that goes with the public, with the SRN and the more people that can watch them play.
All right, let's talk baseball because you're a baseball coach. What do you think about the playoffs? My team lost. I won't tell you who it is, but it's from Boston. Your thoughts on the playoffs?
Well, I think it's a great time of year for baseball fans. My team didn't make it, and they're from Minnesota, but I especially appreciate MLB playoffs. The playoffs look very similar to college baseball. The regular season, not so much, but you can, in the big league playoffs, you can start seeing guys making adjustments to go the other way just to get that base hit, to get an inning started. And so, it's a great time of year for a baseball fan.
A lot of runs as well. So, you talk about pitching, but man, hitting has been nothing but perfect.
Yeah, it's day to day, and it can really depends. The victor is most often the one who pitches the game better, but the offense is recognized when they score runs.
Talk about Manchester and their baseball program. You have a rich tradition here, but this conference, top to bottom, I did some research. It's a pretty good baseball conference.
We feel like it is, yeah. So I've been here quite a while, 27 years, so I've seen the baseball conference grow in ability, and in any one year there's 5, 6 to 7 teams that could win our conference. So we've had a couple teams make it to the D3 World Series within our conference, and we've also, when our teams make it to regional, they usually represent us pretty well. So and I would say everybody's getting better, right? And that's really the key. It's not so much how good you are at the moment, but what direction are you taking the program.
Final question. AD job is never done. You're here all the time. The growth of the program has expired. You got a great SID, the athletic department. What is the future for the athletic department?
Well, I hope we continue to grow, not only in success, but just giving our student athletes a top-notch experience. So I'm very fortunate to be here in this position. Been AD for 15 years. And I couldn't do it without great support, all the way from the president to the VP I report to, and probably most importantly, our coaches, and because they all do something besides coaching, right? It's not a one-man administrator type position. We need a lot of help, and they all step up and do a nice job.
And it seems like your hospitality has been very good because the guys are enjoying a nice meal as we're down here sweating in the sun, Coach.
Yeah, Dylan up there in our SID does a great job, and we want to be good hosts, right? Not only do our opponents, but any media that comes and the opposing fans as well.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Thanks so much. We'll be back. We got a guest coming up next, right after this.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
back at halftime. Coach Keith Myers and Coach Nate. I watched practice today. You're pretty aggressive with your team. My jump shot went in, and you told me I called travel. Well, what's the deal? But the kids look pretty good coming off a good practice today.
Keith, you're just lucky I have a voice to do this interview with you here today. We're 9 practices in. It's an exciting time of year for Division III basketball across the country, and Christmas in October is what we refer to as October 15th. So great to have you guys back on campus, and it was fun that you got to catch some of our practice this morning as we were finishing up.
Yeah, as we left the gym, guys saying, "Okay, I got to do this. I got to do this." You challenge your kids. But that comes from administration all the way. They challenge you guys to be the best people on this campus.
Yeah, I think we're all just trying to be well-rounded individuals and kind of practice what we preach. We want our guys to be great students. We want them to have great social lives, and we want them to have a positive student-athlete experience. And, I can't request them to, have high demand of themselves and hold themselves accountable if we don't do the same. So there's a lot of looking in the mirror and trying to be the best version of yourself to set that example for our student-athletes, and I'm really proud that they represent themselves in Manchester University really positively.
Let's talk a little bit about T-Man. He was here. You've been here. He ate some ice cream yesterday. Coach Nick is really excited about that. Your thoughts about that young man, and our hearts and prayers going out to that family.
Yeah, and I think, again, today I'm a broken record when, what makes this place special is its people. And Tyler Mann is the exemption of that. He was a hard-working individual when he was here, and he's the type of guy that left here with a degree from Manchester University that has an even bigger impact on this place once he got out of here with that degree. So our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family. We're rooting for him, and the fact that he got to enjoy some ice cream yesterday put a smile on a lot of people's faces.
All right, basketball season, 9 practice in, the season starting. The conference from top to bottom, tons of reach. Boy, it's anybody's conference.
Yeah, and that's the position you want to be in, competing at a really elite level. The top half of the Heartland really gets respect throughout the region, throughout the Midwest, and even on a national scale. So in order to get to that top half, it's an uphill climb. From top to bottom, anybody can beat anybody on any given day, which is the position you want to be in as a coach and as a program, having to play your best in order to find some success regardless of who you're going against.
I know you're very busy. You got to go get the officials. Thank you very much. Hope we see you up in December for basketball season.
Yeah, thanks, Keith. Remember, 25% off every basketball game for every football game we had you guys do.
I like the little contract. I don't know what that means other than he wants it cheap. Back up to you guys. Oh, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with the guys right after this.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
And I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie is delicious.
Getting closer to a second half kickoff from Spartan Stadium in North Manchester, Indiana, but it's all Rose-Hulman here. 42-7 is your score. And the Fighting Engineers set to move on and become 4-0 in the Heartland Conference play. Manchester at risk of falling to 2-2 and dropping 2 consecutive conference games. Thank you so much for joining us here on IndianaSRN and HCAC.TV. Jarrett Lewis alongside Sean Kroll with the coach, Keith Myers, down on the sideline. It was, just like we said, it was all Rose-Hulman in that first half. Sean, they had that one fumble inside the 1 yard line late in that second quarter, but that was really all of the mistakes that they made in that first half, just really clicking on all cylinders. Defense making stops, limiting Manchester to under 100 yards of total offense.
And the 3 interceptions on the part of Manchester did not help either. If we look, as we watch this game, I would have thought the passing attempts far exceeded the rushing attempts for Rose-Hulman. That's not the case. 17 rushing attempts, 18 passes, which is a lot more even than I expected it to be. Manchester ran the ball 21 times, passed it 4 of 13, like we said, with 3 interceptions, 285 total yards for Rose-Hulman, only 93 for Manchester. And time of possession leans towards Manchester because they're running the football. But again, there's not a ton they can do with it. They get a couple of plays, together to get themselves in decent field position, and then something happens, and then they kind of shoot themselves in the foot, and they really need to again shore up that. And we'll see what Coach Nate has in store for them, Coach Jensen, in store for them at halftime. But you look at these numbers for Rose-Hulman. I mean, Thomas has 5 receptions for 88 yards and 3 touchdowns. Here he has 3 receptions, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's unbelievable. This offense, and Andrew Dion, reigning Offensive Player of the Week, he's had it twice already this year, including Week 1. He's been fabulous with 5 touchdown throws on 13 of 18.
Yeah, Dion, if you look back at last game, he only played 1 half against Anderson, and his numbers were 13 of 14 for 178 and 4 touchdowns. He has pretty much evened out those numbers in this first half, 13 of 18 for 209, a little bit more yardage, and also 5 touchdown passes.
Well, one of the things Coach Freeze, the offensive coordinator for Rose-Hulman, told us was last week they scored 48 points in their first quarter. What they didn't know is the NCAA record was 49. And so that shows you how well they played in the first quarter against Anderson and why Dion did not play much in the second half. We see Zimmerman and Campasi both warming up on the sideline. It's going to be I'm interested to see who gets the call once Manchester gets the ball back, but Rose gets it to start the third quarter.
It will be Manchester kicking things off with Kibler to begin this second half. And will we see that first-team offense out there for Rose-Hulman after they were able to put up nearly 300 total yards of offense in that first half? A short kick is fielded at the 30 and across the 40 to the 45 on the return for the Fighting Engineers, John Hruska, who's had 2 touches in the kickoff return game.
From Valparaiso.
So good field position to start this opening second half drive for the Fighting Engineers, and it will be the first team offense with Andrew Dion coming back out there, as well as Shane Wilshans. Those 2 seniors, they combined for 270 yards of total offense in that first half.
That's the one negative of the pooch kick, is you get a pretty good offense to start the drive with.
This first play will be a give to Thomas. And Thomas has had 5 catches for 88 yards, this time on the jet sweep, only able to pick up 1.
Nice job extending the line of scrimmage and not letting Thomas get much room after he got the ball, gain of 1.
They snap it with 20 left on the play clock. Dion facing some pressure from behind. Wide open down the field is Jalen Hobbs with the reception. The sophomore will dance into the end zone. The 6th touchdown toss for Andrew Dion. And just the 2nd catch for Hobbs, but it goes the distance.
And he got that off just before Devontae Moore got there. He had a target set on Dion's back, but Dion was able to get rid of it, see the pressure from behind, and just before he gets there, lets it go. And it's another passing touchdown, 6 passing touchdowns today for Andrew Dion.
55 yards on that one for Jalen Hobbs. He was one of those 3 receivers who had 4 coming into this game. The PAT is wide left, no good. But it still makes this game 48-7 now in favor of Rose-Hulman. The very first drive, it took him just 42 seconds to get it back into the end zone. Back in a moment on IndianaSRN.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
Back at Spartan Stadium. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. All the information you need about upcoming games. A full slate as always throughout the week, and now in high school football entering sectional play. Right here we have our 4th edition of the Heartland Game of the Week, and David Smith refusing to go down. Covers a lot of ground and able to get it out to the 36-yard line.
It's incredible how, he's a big kid, but he's still slippery and somehow slides out of tackles. It's very impressive. Again, 5'11 freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana.
We do see our first penalty marker down in this second half. And it took just 52 seconds. And Manchester already working their way backwards. It is going to be a block in the back called against Manchester. And instead of the 35, it'll be Manchester from the 12-yard line.
Seems like every time Manchester takes 1 step forward, they take 2 steps back. And, again, that's something Coach Jensen and the staff have to shore up with this young squad.
That is the 7th penalty called today against Manchester. They'll begin things off again with a run for David Smith and wrapped up, and a late flag coming in again. Rose-Hulman can't believe it, but well after the whistle, Tyler Smith getting a little too aggressive. Rose-Hulman has been doing pretty good in the penalty category. That was just the 3rd penalty on them. Meanwhile, Manchester actually has 8 penalties instead of 7 for 98 penalty yards.
I think this is a case of, there were circumstances in the first half where there were some unsportsmanlike conducts and personal fouls, and this is one of those where it's like, fellas, we're taking care of this early, we're nipping it in the bud, and you're not going to do this.
So now Manchester moving forward just a bit. They are out to the 25-yard line. They send a man in motion, being Nick Kelly. Goes from right to left. Just 2 receivers split out for Manchester. Direct give up the middle to Smith. Not much doing, just 2 yards.
Stevens again on the stop as he's got a nose for the football, and he's just diving through those gaps. Stopping the run as the same offensive scheme for Manchester goes. Run on first down, run on second down, pass on third down.
For David Smith, it's 13 carries for 39 yards. His longest run was 27. So if you take out that one run, it's only 12 yards to talk about for Smith. That's how good the run defense has been for Rose-Hulman. And now they force a fumble. Fighting Engineers believe they have it. Couple of hand motions from them going that way, and Manchester looks like they were the ones to get back on it. Lucky there for the Spartans not giving away that football.
Stevens looked like he came out with it, but
it may have been punched out by Jonathan Anstedt. He wears number 95. Him and Bo Thomas have had an excellent game on that front line, as has that front four. If you include Tyler Smith as well as Jake Ovanek. So now 3rd down and 11 for Manchester.
Here you are again, passing down. They're going to pin their ears back and come after him.
Rolls to his left does Zimmerman, but nowhere to go. Surrounded by defenders. The tackle for Rose-Hulman going to Chakao Sao.
And Stevens was blitzing again on that because he knew they had to pass, and Zimmerman just had nowhere to go because their receivers can't get any separation and get open. And again, we have yet to call Harrison Greer's name today.
Harrington on the season leads the team in receptions with 23. The next closest man has 12, and that's Joseph Powell. So nothing to talk about from the senior receiver Harrington Greer. Rose-Hulman has been able to keep him in check. This punt from Kibler rolls out of bounds at the 42.
One of the peripherals that come from, if that's the word I'm looking for, one of the disadvantages that comes from not being able to do anything on offense is your defense spends a lot of time on the football field and they get gassed, whereas early in the game they can make stops and make plays. When you get gassed, an offense smells blood in the water like they're sharks and they go after it, and that's much harder to keep your head above water on the defensive side.
Still see the usual suspects out there offensively. Here's a tackle for loss made by Manchester as Welshons gets pushed backwards for a loss of 4.
Nice tackle by Sands and Collins for Manchester. We said Collins' name a lot today.
Dion now looking to pass. He already has 6 touchdown passes, and here's a jump ball up for Thomas, and he's there. He boxed out his man, and he's going to make that catch at the 32. Another big-time pickup on the pass for Dion. Looks to be a gain of 35.
Let's be honest, some of these balls haven't been great from Dion, but his receivers have just made plays.
Here's a run now for Welshons, able to get by the first man, and it takes 3 guys to bring him down, and that run has Rose-Hulman set up now inside the red zone. They're right at the 20-yard line.
Welshons doing a little dance there. He liked that. He liked what he got on that carry.
Rose-Hulman offense now getting the play from the sideline. Back to Welshons, going right this time. Keeps things inside the hash, but it's still another big pickup. Chunk yardage play there for 8.
Love the move there. Gets the ball, decides and looks, to kind of gives himself a second little stutter to see where the hole's going to be, then plants and goes right up the middle for a huge chunky yardage.
Dion right now has a chance to go over 300 yards passing. He's at 292, but they keep it with Welshons, who spun around, but looks like he has enough yardage for a first down.
It'll be 1st and goal. Oh, they marked him short.
Just a half yard short now, so 3rd down and a couple of inches.
Surprised he's not going to sneak up under center and then try and sneak it.
They fake it to Welshons, and over the middle of the field. It's not reeled in this time. Daniel Hury, the intended target. And Rose-Hulman trying to fake out Manchester defensively, opting not to give it to Wilshans. They'll keep the offense out there on 4th down.
Could see a jumbo package here. No, they still have Hobbs and Thomas out there, but you do have a tight end and an H-back.
Strong side was to the left, and it looked like Wilshans was starting to run right. There is a flag that comes flying in.
Is it a false start?
That is the call. False start on the offense going against Kenneth Gibson from Fountaintown. He's the center.
Looks like they're going to go for the field goal now.
So for the first time, field goal attempt upcoming for Rose-Hulman. Actually, the second time as Oliger missed his first field goal try. This one is going to be from 32 yards out. Good snap, good hold, and plenty of leg. Oliger splits the uprights and puts up the 51st point for Rose-Hulman. They lead at 51-7. 8:57 left to go in this third quarter. IndianaSRN and HCAC.TV.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Now back at Manchester University, a field goal is good by Jonathan Oliger from 32 yards out. And Tuttle is the kickoff man for Rose-Hulman. It's fielded at the 10-yard line by Manchester and tripped up going down is Manchester at the 28. Something going on the field. Players looked like they were talking about something maybe after the play, maybe a personal foul, but nothing coming in from the referees. It's Manchester at the 29. Pleasure to be joined now by the coach, Keith Myers.
Hey, Jared, how are you?
Going to finish out the rest of this second half as Rose-Hulman well on their way to moving into 4-0 in conference play. 5-2 is their overall record. Zimmerman, quick hitter, out towards the left side. This catch hauled in by Dave Paul with a flag coming in. Excuse me, that's Jalen Love.
Late flag on the play.
Well,
the officials have done a really good job, though, controlling this game, considering how lopsided it is. And we got a little chippy in the first half and straightened that out, and the flag's here just to maintain peace, so to speak.
And this is a good crew. We saw this exact same crew 2 weeks ago when we had Manchester in Defiance.
Well, believe it or not, I talked to him before the game. Guess what? Guess where they're going next week?
Where's that?
Mount St. Joseph.
Oh, we'll have that game.
Guess where we're going next week?
Mount St. Joseph. That is the other undefeated team in the conference. The Lions of Mount St. Joseph, they are 3-0 and 4-2 overall, as is Rose-Hulman.
When the white hat said, "Oh, you're following us," I guess we are. So that penalty marks them back down to 10 more yards.
Is now 1st and 20 from the 19. Too many penalties to talk about for Manchester. Over the middle of the field, tipped and intercepted again. It's going to be the second pick six for Rose-Hulman. Intercepted by number 8, Tyler Smith, the junior from Spring, Texas. That's now 2 defensive scores for the Fighting Engineers.
I tell you what, you hear the tip to drill, says go, and there's nothing else they could do there. Look at this. Here's the tip, and he just catches his on the rebound. It's almost like a basketball play, Jarrett. And paid her.
Zimmerman was trying to get it to Lathrop over the middle of the field. That's interception number 4 now for the Manchester quarterback. And Tyler Smith does the rest, takes it back. Here's a PAT blocked by the Spartans.
Ball's alive. This is worth some points here.
Bringing it back towards the right. Now we'll go back left. Making a decent return out of this for the Spartans is Markel Jackson. And he's pushed out around midfield. So the Spartans do block the extra point, but it's still a pick 6 house call for Tyler Smith. We've called his name a couple times this afternoon. That makes it a 50-point ball game in favor of Rose-Hulman. We'll keep things here with 8:30 left to play in this third quarter. There's still a long way to go in this ball game, Coach.
There is, and now you look at your kids and you see what they have. Are they going to quit on you, or are they going to do a good fight? Tell a lot about people when you're the adversity that this is. This is a tough game right here at 57-7, but we'll see what they got.
Another look.
Here's a little tip again. I just like how the defense started blocking. They knew they were going to get a score, and when defense scores, Jared, as you know, we saw last week, it's like an extra bonus.
Last week we had Hanover. They had 2 defensive scores.
The turnover trash can.
That's what they had with the celebration. Now, it doesn't appear Rose-Hulman has something like that, but we have seen plenty of big plays defensively in the past 2 weeks between Hanover and now Rose-Hulman. The Fighting Engineers now with a 50-burger, 57-7 our score.
This being our 4th week, your assessment on the conference, though, I think every team is very competitive in this conference. You may have some elite up at the top, but, man, this is a great football conference.
And we are going to have some good games to finish out the regular season. And we'll have the Bell game to finish off everything to cap off this 7-week stint in the Heartland Conference with Hanover and Franklin. New quarterback out on the field for Manchester, and the first play is a completion. New quarterback in for Manchester is Campazzi. He's a junior from Cicero, went to Hamilton Heights High School.
So if you're now Manchester and coach, you just want the clock to be running. You want to have positive plays to finish out this game and see where your kids are.
5 yards on the pickup reception going to Austin Kahn. Now here's a give to Jalen Love. First time getting a touch is number 20, the sophomore tailback, only picking up 2 yards on the carry. Third down and 3 is what we'll call it. Manchester with the wristbands you can see on their wrists or on their arms somewhere. Looking at this play call, they'll have 3 receivers to the top of the screen now. Campazzi puts Love in motion, and now they swing it out to him, but he overshoots him. Had some blockers out in front, those wide receivers, but Campazzi over the head of Love, and now another punt upcoming from Kibler.
Had time to throw the ball, just didn't lead him correctly. Tough play.
And if we look at the remaining schedule upcoming for Rose-Hulman next week, taking on Bluffton at home, and then they'll have Franklin and Mount St. Joseph to finish off the regular season. Those are 2 tough games to finish things off. It will not be an easy road trying to win this Heartland Conference for the Fighting Engineers.
And I guarantee you, Hanover is hoping that one of those guys make them stumble.
Here's a nice open field tackle made by Manchester's number 23, Carmelo Gurley, as Gurley brings down the return man of Rose-Hulman. But now, back over to the Fighting Engineers and their offense, which has been impressive. Total offense for the Fighting Engineers now is at 387 yards. They're averaging 9 yards a play.
Looks like we have a new quarterback.
That we do. It's number 10. He hands off. Actually, he fakes the jet sweep to Hury. And keeping it for the Fighting Engineers is Miguel Robertson, the new play caller in for the Fighting Engineers.
6'3", 200 pounds, California. A lot of kids from California, Southern.
Petaluma, California. Robertson, just a sophomore, so he's got a couple years left. He's going to give it to Ruperta. Ruperta is stood up after just a gain of 3 yards.
And really, you look at Rose-Hulman, this is a pretty smart thing for the coach. Playing some other kids, doing a great job of getting everybody healthy, keep everybody healthy and safe, because you don't want a fluke injury at all. 18 first downs in the game for Rose-Hulman.
And you divide that by 3, that's what Manchester has, just 6 for the Spartans. Robertson at the sticks with the catch is Tice Saliu.
How about that throw on a rope?
It's enough to move the chains. They're at the 40-yard line.
Here's the drop. This is great. He's in the shotgun formation, and he's just looking one step and zip. That ball is on a rope. You used to throw him that way, didn't you?
I sure did.
I figured you did. The other team ran him back.
No, that's not it. Nice throw at the sticks again. And with this reception for Rose-Hulman, Ryan Schmidt.
Second and 2 here.
They'll go back to the ground game. Robertson on the handoff. They needed 2 yards. And he's going to be just short. Ruperta again on the carry. Ruperta has just 6 carries. He's been the second man to get the ball from the backfield. He's got 15 carries. Shane Wilshans, though, a great day for him. On 15 carries, had 81 yards. Back to Ruperta again on 3rd down and short. They get pushed backwards. Manchester defense sends Ruperta back to the 46, and now 4th down and 4.
Little victories like that can build some things for you. Nice job by the defense. They stacked him right up, and they just didn't let him go, did they? Nice defense.
It'll be a punt upcoming now. Andrew Toller, the sophomore, stands at the 30. His first punt only went 12 yards. But now for the second time, steps into one at the 35. A much better punt. Spiraling punt is just going to hit about 2 yards into the end zone for a touchback.
Nice boot.
So the Manchester offense, when we saw them last, it was Carter Capazzi coming in for the first time. Zimmerman, a game to forget for him. He finishes 5 of 15 for 4 interceptions and just 36 yards of passing offense. Was able to get it to 5 different receivers, but one of those receivers that we haven't mentioned today was Harrington Greer. He's the leading reception man for the Spartans offense. And now Campazzi with a quarterback keeper, and here he goes across the 40. Across midfield, takes a big hit from his blind side, but is able to get things into Rose-Hulman territory at the 47-yard line.
Gotta like that. Tuck and ran, saw the opening grand. I kind of like the tackle here, but this is a nice, he sees the gap right here, and then he just puts it in a high gear right here.
It's 33 yards on the pickup for Campazzi, and he took a
nice little hit by number 30.
Pretty decent smack. That was Daniel Morford who tattooed him from the right side. Give to Love, just 2 yards.
Number 20, Jalen Love, is brought down by number 12, Sam Hendrick. Gain of 2 on the play, second down, 8 with the Spartans.
Talk about this third quarter, and we're still into it. It was Rose-Hulman right off the bat. Within the first 6.5 minutes of play, they had scored 3 touchdowns with Hobbs, or 3 scores, I should say. 2 of those were touchdowns. Hobbs had a score from 55 yards, the long pass from Dion, and then Oliger was good from 32, and then the interception return by Tyler Smith. They've been able to put up 17 points in this third quarter. Rose-Hulman led things 40-7 at the end of the first half.
Third down here. They really need this to keep that clock going.
Under a minute and 50 left to go. Lathrop moves in motion. Thinking about passing was Campazzi, but he'll tuck it and run, get close to the first down marker, but he's going to be a yard short.
Oh, they're going to go.
And not much to lose. Just keep the offense out there.
Look like they brought in an extra tight end.
Great turnout by the Rose-Hulman side. Their visiting bleachers is packed full, and they are appreciative of what they have been able to do. And right now the defense looking for a 4th down stop. They'll give it to Love, and he's got plenty enough to pick up this first down. Only needed a yard, but 4 will do for the sophomore.
Nice job by the offensive line, blowing them off the ball a little bit. Needed 1 and got 6.
Two guys in the backfield now with Campazzi. Both to the right side. 30 seconds left to go in this one. Campazzi breaking the first tackle inside the 25.
Nice little spark here.
Campazzi, a junior, and on the season has had very little action. He's appeared in 2 different games.
Nice job by following his blocks and just going straight up.
Campazzi running the football has been decent. He's got almost 50 yards rushing on just 3 carries, but that is the last play of the third quarter. Spartans will switch sides of the field. Rose-Hulman going to move to 4-0 in conference play right now on top, 57-7 with 15 minutes left to go in this one.
Myers, Vice President of IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us. Do you know IndianaSRN broadcasts 350 games a year? All sorts of sports? Yeah, we do. Hard to believe, isn't it? IndianaSRN loves to put student athletes first on our website. If you're a business out there, we probably could help you too. Contact us at coach@indianasrn.org. Grandma from out of state thanks you. Mom and Dad who can't get to the game thanks you as well. In fact, our athletes watch the games over and over again. Our military has enjoyed the games as well. So sit back and enjoy the game. It's IndianaSRN.
The fourth and final quarter starting right now from Spartan Stadium in Manchester University, along with the coach, Keith Myers, Jarrett Lewis on IndianaSRN and HCAC.TV. Campazzi making something happen and making a cut, getting it inside the 10 for the Spartans, being number 8, Peyton Fry.
How about this? The quarterback knew there was no play left. This is a nice, smart play here. Running the ball, got tripped, realized he could not get any yardage, and just flipped the ball. Gained 10 yards on that play.
Second completion now for Campazzi as he finds Peyton Fry, junior tight end from Southport High School. First down and goal for the Spartans from the 7.
Marion County kid.
Manchester trying to score their first offensive touchdown of this ball game, and they'll get a little bit closer with this carry from Love, getting things to the 2-yard line. Last week, Manchester unable to score against Mount St. Joseph. Got shut out 28-0. Offense just 100 yards total. And they punted the football 13 times in that ball game.
I'm sure the punter really enjoyed being in that sauna after the game.
2 lost fumbles and 2 interceptions for the Manchester offense as well. Love getting tripped up in the backfield and won't get any closer, setting up 3rd down and goal to go. The last time these two teams met was not this last year during spring football, but back in 2019, Rose-Hulman came out on top 52-35, the final score.
Yeah, I don't think they played in the spring at all, did they?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
And getting a couple of fall games in and then having to be sidelined up until the spring, but both schools able to get 6 games of spring football under their belt, and now here's another loss on the play. Campazzi this time keeping it, and he goes backwards for a yard.
You know, and talking with the coaches when we did our summer tour with them, every coach thought they benefited from the spring season to get them ready for this season. And you could see at the top upper edge of the teams, you could see those teams really enjoyed that spring season and did some work on that spring season because they're very competitive now. These kids have played almost 13 weeks of football, including that spring season.
It's 4th down with the ball at the 4. Manchester trying to punch it in. Campazzi looking left over the middle and nearly intercepted. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to fall incomplete. Turnover on downs by Manchester. Another impressive defensive stand coming from Rose-Hulman. Manchester, a lot of the time, they've tried to go with those slant routes over the middle of the field, and it's either a linebacker or a defensive lineman forcing that throw.
Maybe a little bit
to
too
be
early.
Tipped.
Yeah, a little bit quick. I mean, that ball was tipped. That almost got intercepted again.
Yeah, getting his hand on it for Rose-Hulman looked to be Andrew Walkowski. Got that big right paw up there to bat it down. And now another new quarterback in for Rose-Hulman. This one, number 17, being John Barnes. He's a sophomore, went to Fort Wayne Snyder.
You're going to see a lot of different players now as this 4th quarter is winding to the end here.
Picking up 2 on that last play was Rose-Hulman. Now, picking up a little bit more this time on the carry for the Fighting Engineers. They go back to Ruperta. He's been in there with the first team and now has had some snaps with the second and third teams. New set of downs for the Fighting Engineers. They'll have 2 receivers to both sides.
You know, we talked about Rose-Hulman. They did not actually stay all night, Jared. They drove up this morning. They did not spend the night, so they got a long bus trip home.
They sure do. It's a 3-hour drive.
So you look at their day today, it's almost like a 12-hour day for them, just like it is with us. on game day. You know, they got up early, got on the bus. I'm sure that some of them slept on the bus. I know I slept on our way here, so there is some rest that will be on those charter buses today.
Rose-Hulman offense still moving quickly, not looking to take as much time off the clock as they could. This is Ruperta on the carry, coming away with 2 yards. That previous catch reeled in by Ryan Schmidt, his second reception of this ball game. Yeah, we initially thought that it was Rose-Hulman coming in last night, but they did make that long bus ride up here to Manchester. Here's another first down for the Fighting Engineers. They aren't quitting so fast. It's number 84, Eli Silva, another California kid. Jet sweep from the right side.
Waited for his blockers.
Now passing, slant pattern is not going to be hauled in this time. Intended target that time was Brandon Green. And you're getting, if you're Rose-Hulman, and maybe even Manchester too, you are getting a full quarter for some of these younger players, these freshmen and sophomores, these second and third teamers.
Well, they love it. They, get an opportunity to show their wares.
Getting quality minutes here. Here's a nice keep, faking the jet sweep, and picking up a first down with his legs, being John Barnes.
And I'm sure every single kid is in, especially with Rose-Hulman, is in the offensive coordinator saying, I could run the ball if you want to give me the ball. The offense has been very potent today.
Rose-Hulman has reached 50 points 2 other times this season. Both of those were conference games. They put up 63 against Defiance and 62 last week versus Anderson. And now with another score here, they would be able to reach the 60-point mark again.
Their back half of the schedule, though, is brutal if you look at their back half of the schedule.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. Their games upcoming for them. They'll have Bluffton at home next week and then on the road at Franklin College, and then finishing off the season with the only other undefeated conference team in Mount St. Joseph. That game will be at home for Rose-Hulman. But that very well could be the conference championship game. Rose-Hulman and Mount St. Joseph dueling it out last game of the season. Third down and 10 for Rose-Hulman. Rolling out to his right, throwing it down the field. He had a step, did his man, but that pass over the head of Silva. Fourth down, punting unit out onto the field. We previewed it a little bit early on, but next week, again, we're going to take our trip down south. We took a 2-hour trip up north from Indianapolis up here to North Manchester, and now it's 2 hours the other way to Cincinnati. Mount St. Joseph as well will be at next week. They will take on the Ravens of Anderson. So back-to-back weeks, we get to look at the top 2 teams in the Heartland Conference. Fair catch called by Smith. Manchester will have things started off at the 14.
And in week 6 is a great week for us for football, and in week 7, as you talked about, the Bell game as well. So as we wrap up a great year of football right here on this Heartland Conference. Did we mention the Heartland Conference TV? HCAC
TV. That's right.
Welcome aboard. New station for IndianaSRN. Excited that they have their own conference TV station. You'll see a lot of Heartland sports on that station.
David Smith, the starting running back, still out there. He's going to pick up 7 yards here.
Looking forward to a great little marriage here with IndianaSRN.
Absolutely, and going to end up.
How about the class of people that is in every single university have treated us very kindly. the commissioners, the coaches love it.
And we got to meet some great people from Mount St. Joseph during our college tour over the summer. We'll get to see them next week. David Smith picking up a first down here.
You know, and I think halftime guest coach mentioned the family unit. You know, when one university hurts or hurts, someone's there to pick them up, and the unity of this conference and the community, because this is a great conference and it's built on good people.
Now under 8 minutes left. Manchester with the football. Blitz coming in from Rose-Hulman out in the flat. Open man. Campazzi connects with Abiagam. Abiagam's second catch. Only him and Darren Lathrop have 2 catches at least. Lathrop 2 for 19. 5 different receivers have caught a pass, but nobody with more than 2 catches. And the man we haven't said at all is Harrington Greer. He's left alone on the bottom of your screen. This handoff going to Jalen Love.
They're still hitting pretty hard out there.
Jalen Love on 6 carries has 17 yards rushing, the second leading rusher for Manchester. The clock continues to wind down. Up next for Manchester, they'll be on the road at Hanover. We just saw the Panthers last week looking impressive in their win over Defiance. And Hanover is another team. They lost to Rose-Hulman, and they're going to be looking for some help as the rest of this conference schedule wraps up to try and be another team that's in the conversation for a conference title.
Yeah, when you lose one conference game, you're just hoping someone else picks up the spot to help you. Gets the first down.
Campazzi, 6-yard pickup to the 38. See, Campazzi, like we said earlier, this is just the 3rd game he's appeared in.
I like this. He doesn't see anything down there, and then he just sees the sticks, and he goes right toward the sticks.
7 of 21 passing coming into this one. He's 2 of 3 right now. Running the football, Campazzi has had 7 attempts, but he's lost a lot of yardage due mostly to sacks. Love picking up nothing here on first down. It has been a long time since Manchester has defeated Rose-Hulman. You got to go all the way back to 2009. It was a home game for Manchester. They won it 20-17, but ever since then, it's been 11 straight for the Fightin' Engineers. They have had Manchester's number for quite some time, and they lead the all-time series 22 games to 8. Jeff Sokol, Rose-Hulman head coach, his 11th year, career record of 67-35. He's going to get his 68th win coaching Rose-Hulman, and will now move to 10-0 against the Spartans. Meanwhile, Coach Jensen is going to drop to 18-36, and a winning undefeated record on the other side for Sokol sees an 0-5 mark for Coach Jensen against Rose-Hulman. First down pickup for the Spartans. Campazzi rolling out to his right. Nice replay captured by our man Justin upstairs. Lathrop gets his 3rd catch. Now into Rose-Hulman territory. Campazzi keeping it towards his left. Taking a couple of knocks, but moving the ball forward to the 40-yard line, close to another first down. 9 yards for Campazzi, who has had 6 carries, good for 63. He has been showing off what he can do in the limited minutes that he has had in this ballgame, has played most of this second half. Now Spartans will fix their formation. Lathrop going from right to left. Looking deep down the field, and a flag does come in the secondary. Looking at Lathrop was Campazzi, but it was over his head, and now this penalty may be against the Rose-Hulman secondary. Harrington Greer was going down the sideline towards the end zone, and initially that's looked like where Campazzi was wanting to go with it. It's going to be a holding call against the defense, and the guilty party for Rose-Hulman being Aiden Ayers. Check that, Caleb Brown, the senior from Toledo. Gives a first down to Manchester, who again is still, the last time they scored an offensive touchdown, you have to go back to week 4, or I should say the 4th game of the year. Week 4 was technically a bye. They had the 3 games to start off the season and then had a bye before they faced off against Franklin. That was the last time they had an offensive touchdown. So last week getting shut out. Here's a long run by Jalen Love, who plows over a defender close to the 10-yard line. You had the win to start off conference play against Franklin with the Kibler game-winning field goal. And then Defiance, you win it 22-0 thanks to 15 points from Kibler and a defensive touchdown. And then last week, like we said, getting shut out by the Lions. So it has been 3 weeks since the Manchester offense has gotten it into the end zone. They're trying it right here with another give to Love, who hasn't broke inside the 10 quite yet. David Smith has checked back in now. Campazzi has led a great drive for Manchester. And he fakes to Smith towards the middle of the field, connecting with Lathrop, who's trying to get into the end zone. Does he break the plane? He does. Touchdown, Manchester. Darren Lathrop from 12 yards out puts the Spartans back up onto the scoreboard. And it has been a long time coming for this Manchester offense. Another look at it. Campazzi, clean pocket, and Lathrop taking on 3 different defenders, getting it into pay dirt. For Lathrop, that's touchdown number 2 this season, which now ties with Harrington Greer. Each of those guys with 2. PAT isn't going to be good for the moment as a flag comes in. Lathrop now 4 catches. False start is going to push this PAT back, but Lathrop now 4 catches for 36 yards. So now the PAT upcoming from Kibler. He made his first one after the kickoff return score by Gurley. He took it 90 yards to the house. That was in the second quarter. Now Kibler, a couple times special teams player of the week. We get another flag on this second PAT attempt. This time it's against Rose-Hulman, but Manchester will decline it and take the good PAT from Kibler, which now makes the score 57-14. With just 2:08 left to play in the fourth quarter. The Fighting Engineers just moments away from picking up their 4th conference win. And we're moments away from player of the game as well. The coach is back out onto the sidelines. He'll have our interview with the winning head coach and our IndianaSRN player of the game. Don't want to give it away quite yet, but it may be obvious for the Rose-Hulman side. Taking a look at their numbers offensively, 457 total yards of offense. They average 7.7 per play. 320 yards of passing as a team. Just an all-around impressive performance from Rose-Hulman. Fighting Engineers will receive this kickoff from Kibler, a short kick, and just 2:08 left to go. And we mentioned earlier the great turnout by the Rose-Hulman fans. They made the 3-hour trip, and loud and proud showing some support for this team who has given them a season to be proud of. Rose-Hulman will become 5-2 on the year. And under head coach Jeff Sokol in his 11th year, they are 10-0 versus Manchester. They've won the last 11 games versus the Spartans, and now they'll make it 12. 2 minutes left to go. Rose-Hulman averages 297 passing yards a game. That'll go up after this one. After they finish with 320, they limit Manchester to 64 yards through the air. Injury timeout. Player down for Manchester at the 35. And we'll take a quick break. We'll be back for the final 148 from Spartan Stadium.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
The injured player is now up and moving towards the sideline. That was Garrett Deaton, sophomore from Danville, Indiana. His high school taking care of business last night in the opening round of sectional. They defeated Greencastle on 2nd down and 8. Short pickup here. .90 seconds left to go for the Fighting Engineers to move to 4-0 in conference play and look forward to returning home back in Terre Haute. And they'll take on the Bluffton Beavers. Counter play, picking up a first down across the 45. Carry for Alonzo Johnson, who last week had 28 carries. That's his first carry in this one. Plenty of different players to go with if you're Rose-Hulman in the run game, including Wilshans and Ruperta. And those two got a majority of the carries. 24 carries total between those two tailbacks. That was good for 105 yards rushing. This time keeping it is Miguel Robertson, who's back in at quarterback. Him and John Barnes have swapped snaps in these previous 3 drives. Now the clock to 20 seconds and counting. Rose-Hulman still trying to run a couple of plays, get some snaps in with these second and third team players. But it looks like there won't be another snap. Players begin handshakes and forming a line at midfield. Jeff Sokol picks up career win number 68 at Rose-Hulman. He's now 10-0 against Manchester. And the Fighting Engineers of Rose-Hulman improved to 5-2 overall, 4-0 in the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. They are on top of it with Mount St. Joseph. And we'll look forward to Bluffton next week. As for Manchester, they fall to 2-5 overall, 2-2 in conference play. And next week have another tough task ahead of them, this time on the road at the Panthers of Hanover. (57-14) our final score. Rose-Hulman comes away with 484 yards of total offense, only giving up 244 to the Spartans of Manchester. They forced 4 turnovers, and 2 of them led immediately to points. 2 interception returns, 1 for Amakwa and the second to Smith. It was Rose-Hulman all the way. They led 41-7 at halftime. And they cap off the game, winning it by 43. You see the coach, Keith Myers, he's down on the sideline with the winning head coach.
Win for you guys, get started for the next game and playing pretty well here lately.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the way the guys played. Left a couple points out. We should have thrown a touchdown pass on the first play of the game. Stuff like that. Little things we weren't great on special teams today. The gave up a kickoff return and missed 2 extra points and a field goal, and had an 11-yard punt, I think. So we got some stuff we need to fix, but very pleased with the way we played on offense and defense.
This conference, week after week is a tough grind. You got another one tough grind next week?
Yeah, we got Bluffton at home. It'll be nice to have a home game, and but yeah, we just take them one at a time and get our guys prepared to play each week.
When we come back, we'll have the player of the game. Coach, you'll help me with that, and we'll be right back right after this. Done? We good?
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Back from our break down onto the field with Coach. He's got our player of the game.
Mr. Dion, you had a great ball game. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was all right. I could have played better.
He sees he can play better. He threw 6 touchdowns. The last time I threw 6 touchdowns was against my grandchildren, and I'm a lot older than they are. It's really good, great protection. You saw the field really well early in the game, I thought.
Yeah, I got a lot of athletes that make me look really good. I'm fortunate to have guys like Noah Thomas and 4 and 14. I just throw a ball up sometimes and they come down with it and they run fast and they get to the end zone, so they make me look good.
I got a year of eligibility left. I don't know if I want to play football, but if you can throw it to me, I'll catch it.
I'd be happy to throw it.
For the player of the game, you got 2 dozen cookies, you got a whole bunch of candy. You got to share that. It's got a 3-hour drive, but man, don't eat them all. But you can share that. You're the player of the game on IndianaSRN.
Thank you, appreciate it. Have a good one.
Back up to you, Jarrett. What a game we had, and next week we'll do it all over again.
Yes.
Back up to you.
Yes, we will. We'll be at Mount St. Joseph next week as the Lions take on the Anderson University Ravens. Again, the final numbers for Andrew Dion, the senior quarterback, our player of the game, 15 of 21 for 292 yards passing and 6 touchdown passes, all of those coming within the first 3 quarters of play. And 6 of those receptions going to Noah Thomas, who had a player of the game worthy performance as well. 6 catches, 117 yards, 3 touchdowns. And it was Daniel Hury who had 2 of the other touchdowns, 3 catches for 64 yards. A tremendous all-around offensive performance for Rose-Hulman. They win it 57-14. Want to thank our entire crew here at Manchester University, including some of the people within Manchester University, including the SID, Dylan Bender, who's been tremendous for us. Our second time visiting this campus, and we have been treated very well with the entire staff up in this press box. We appreciate him and the entire crew here at Manchester. And for our crew here at IndianaSRN, upstairs, Justin Griffiths did a tremendous job on camera. The man running the ones and twos, our producer, Nick Lewis, did fabulous, filling in for the Wizard, Jerry Collins. And our man on the sideline, the coach, Keith Myers, as always, a great job with the interviews. And our color guy, Sean Kroll. We will be together next week at Mount St. Joseph. I'm Jarrett Lewis saying so long for now. This was the Heartland Game of the Week on IndianaSRN and HCAC.TV.